All right, all right. Welcome in, everyone. Another episode of Sports Rogue Podcast. I'm Chris. That is Jesse.
Hello, hello.
How are we doing tonight?
We're doing good. Excited for the start of the playoffs finally.
Yeah, we got the playing games done. First round started today, actually, right? First round today.
Yep.
If anyone out there wants to find our socials, it's right there. Hardwood Heroics. Wisconsin Sport Heroics. Our name is actually Sports Heroics, made up of 4 sites. We got Gridiron Heroics. We got, I guess, Home Plate Heroics. I don't know. They haven't done anything with that, but
I
and
think
then
it's out there somewhere.
Hardwood Heroics is what we actually write for: college basketball, NBA, WNBA, all that jazz, and then also Wisconsin Sports Heroic, which is just what it says. Pretty much all Wisconsin sports. A lot of, well, right now, a lot of Bucks and Brewers, Marquette, Badgers, and women's, men, everything. So go over to those sites there and check it out. Check out Jesse's right articles. He gets more views than I do, so check his out first, and then.
Okay. Okay.
uh, so far we had some pretty good games so far. A couple blowouts.
Yep.
Uh, Pacers over the Bucks. They absolutely destroyed them. And
Yes, they did.
Giannis had a big game, but 117-98 Pacers over the Bucks. What are your thoughts on that game?
I was surprised by let me pull it up real quick. Giannis's efficiency rating was interesting. Minus 18.
Yeah, that ain't good. Especially when he's pretty much the only guy they have. If you have a minus 18 for your top player,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah. But I think the pace and the intensity of the play that the Pacers played with, I think caught the Bucks off guard because they just looked frustrated.
Yeah, Pacers played a little quicker, right? Because Bucks they're not a very young team. I mean, I think they're one of the oldest teams in the league, I believe.
Yeah, Torian Prince has been around for a while. Obviously, Kevin Porter, Bobby Portis has been around for a little bit. Kuzma's
Brooke
been around for a little
Lopez,
bit. Lopez, yeah, just
yeah.
about to say Lopez isn't exactly a spring chicken anymore.
In Indiana, they got some athletes. They got Halliburton. Siakam can get up and down. He had a big game,
Siakam.
26 points, 7 boards.
Yep.
Yeah, Miles Turner's a good defender. He's a pretty good defender. Neesmith can knock down some shots. So they
Yep.
have pretty, Obi Toppin kills the Wolves. He kills every team. He kills the Wolves and every other team. He doesn't do anything. He plays us. He scores 30 a game.
Yeah.
He had what 6 points today? Yeah, I don't get it.
Six.
The
Yep.
guy's just like an all star when he plays us.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge game for Pascal Siakam, man. Almost a kind of close to a triple double.
Yeah, and he 10 of 15 shooting for Siakam. That is very efficient.
It's very impressive considering I think they won by what, 14,
The
19?
19, yep,
Yeah, they
19.
won by 19 and Halliburton only put up 10.
Yeah, and he shot 3 of 13, 0 of 7 from three for Halliburton. But
Yeah.
you look there, he only had one turnover. He had 12
Yep.
assists, and your plus minus plus 27. That is, as a point
Yeah.
guard, that is getting it done.
Yeah. But I that's not good for Milwaukee considering yeah, he put up 10 and 12, which is I mean, it's a good stat line for point guards nowadays, it's not. But,
Yeah,
early 2000s, that was pretty much what you were looking at out of your point guard.
yep.
But I don't know, man, to lose by 19 and their star player, granted, they probably game planned around neutralizing him and then just were trying to see if the dudes around him you know, could put
Yep.
up. And they did. So if he has a better game next game, the Bucks might be in trouble in this series.
And rumors are Damian Lillard reported to come back either game 2 or game 3. So do you think the Bucks have it? Let's say Lillard's out game 2
Mhm.
in Indiana. Do you think Bucks have a shot of splitting it, or do you think they're going to go down 0-2
I think they're gonna go down 0-2 because
after seeing what happened today, right?
just by the eye test, it looked like they were trying to just play big against the Pacers, and the Pacers can match that. Like I feel like they're big guys with the exception of Giannis. I feel like the Pacers have better and more athletic big men than the
Yeah,
Bucks do. So
yeah,
if they go big, then it's like, okay, cool. Well, we have dudes that can basically, I wouldn't say neutralize your big men because, Lopez can get on his shit and he can be an absolute menace even now. But yeah, I think just with the athleticism and kind of matching size, I think the Bucks are going to be in trouble. Even
yeah.
if they get Dame Lillard back, I think it's just a bad matchup for the Bucks.
And the Bucks essentially start two centers, and Giannis and Brook Lopez, and Indiana doesn't really start a true center. Miles
Yeah, they
Turner
have
is kind of undersized center, Siakam, so they can get out and run. They have mismatches
yeah,
that way. Milwaukee
yep,
cannot keep up with them, and that's what we kind of saw in this game as well.
yep. But
Fast
no, I
break
mean
points, 22-5 Indiana. Fast break points.
that pace.
That
That's
is,
that pace.
yeah. Everything else was, I mean, the Bucks didn't shoot very well. Uh, I mean, Pacers shot almost 52%. I think it's, yeah, the big thing, the pace of play is that just what you said. Fast break points and uh, point guard dictating pace of play at Halliburton was his 12 assists.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah, I
some
don't know.
other,
They're just
yeah, I think they go down 0-2 as well. If Lillard comes back, I don't know how effective he's going to be. I mean, he's got to be somewhat rust, right?
yeah, yeah. I think it's just a bad matchup for the Bucks, man. They're gonna have to. It's just gonna be like a gutsy series, basically. I don't think they're really gonna. I mean, unless Giannis just goes nuts for 4 straight games, everybody else
Yeah.
around him goes nuts for 4 straight games.
I mean, he
Like
puts
they're
up
gonna have to.
36 and they lost by 19 too. It's like what more can the guy do?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Lakers and Ant. It's like, yeah, well, we're let Giannis be Giannis, man. Just don't foul him.
Yeah.
Let him drop however many he wants. Like it doesn't matter.
They had two starters that didn't score in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's not good.
They both played over 20 minutes. Torian Prince and Kyle Kuzma had 0 points.
Who's that's yeah.
They had three
Yeah.
guys off the bench that scored double figures. Their starters: Brook Lopez 9, Ryan Hollins 5, Giannis 36, Kuzma Prince 0. That is, I don't think I've seen that before. Two starters not score. You only have one guy in double figures, and the rest are on the bench.
Yep. It was the epitome of Giannis and everyone else.
Yeah, you can't do that every game. I mean, yeah, he's kind of carried the Bucks here end of the year without Lillard, but playoffs, like we are talking last week, playoffs are a different animal.
Yep.
He's gonna have to score 50 with 20 rebounds to try to carry him this time around.
Yeah, and it's not just the best team that wins, it's also the smartest team that wins. So I
Yep.
mean, yeah, yeah, they might be in trouble. We'll see.
Yeah. Well,
If they could tie it up in the second game and win, I wouldn't even say convincingly, but maybe like win by 8 to 10 and kind of pull away in the fourth, then
yeah.
that would be encouraging. But I mean, they were getting their asses kicked.
And Kyle Kuzma has 0. You can't get that.
Yeah,
They traded for Kuzma. Got rid of Middleton
yeah,
for Kuzma, and
yeah.
he's been okay. He's been pretty good on the Bucks, but 0 points. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think I forget what it was. I want to say it was like in the third or the fourth where I forget who it was. I want to say it might have been I think it might have been either Obi Toppin or going down the list. Might have been even been TJ McConnell, but somebody was driving to the rim way smaller than Brook Lopez, and they straight up just pushed him out of the way. And so to me, that was kind of indicative of like the effort that the Bucks were putting in, where I feel like they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get these calls and that calls, and all that, and
Yeah,
they just like I said, they weren't ready for how bad Indiana wants it because I mean last year was a fight between these two teams. Like they do not like each other.
yeah, yep.
And so it was I think it was earlier on, like 2 weeks ago, I think, when Halliburton was on the McAfee show talking about this matchup and he's like, "No, we want the Bucks. Like we do not like each other. We want to beat them."
I remember him saying that. Yeah, we cherish the Bucks. We want the Bucks. We want.
Yeah.
I think he even said we want Lillard to play too, so they can,
Yeah.
not have any excuses.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's not that many like heated rivalries in the NBA.
Yeah, not anymore. No, everybody
No.
loves each other too much in the league. Everyone's like, "Oh, where are we going to eat after the game?"
Yeah, because they all want to be business partners. It's like, dude, fuck that.
Yeah,
You guys can make
yeah,
enough on your own. Like, you don't. How many millions of dollars do you need, really?
yeah. Get
Like, do you even
competitive.
notice it after a while? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
bring up Kuzma again. The only stats he registered in this game were missed shots and miss. He didn't have a stat. He didn't have a rebound. He didn't have a steal. He didn't have an assist for 22 minutes? 20 some minutes he
Ronnie
didn't
could,
record a stat. What the
Ronnie
hell
could
is
do way
that?
better. Okay, Lakers are almost down by 20. That's over.
They were down 24 though. They tried to make a
Let's
run.
see. Yeah, 75-93, down 18. Oh, they're cooked. They're cooked this game.
Oh my god, Luca just made a 41 footer to end the half.
Okay. Okay, they might be all right. Here we go.
Come on,
Comes
Luca. What are
here
you
comes
doing, man?
here comes fourth quarter Minnesota all over again.
God, if that happens, this computer might be going right through this window right in front of me here.
Just give it 10 minutes, dude. We'll check on the
God.
game.
Stay in the East, the 3-6 matchup, Pistons Knicks. It, After the third quarter, the Knicks looked like they were in trouble. They were down 8 at the end of the third,
Yep.
and they weren't doing anything. Like
Yep.
they couldn't
Until
get
Detroit
anything going.
forgot how to shoot and score and dribble and play.
Yeah, and then they found Towns had a spot there where he had like 7 straight, and then Brunson kind of took over there late in the game, and OG chipped in as well. OG had
Yep.
23, 7 boards. Towns had the double double, and Josh Hart flirted with almost triple double as well.
Yeah, he was doing okay. He completely missed the rim a couple of times, and I think he missed a dunk and a layup.
And
But
Cameron Payne, he hit that big three.
yeah, we are
He
just
kind
talking
of
about him last week.
he kind of got hit. He kind of got the Knicks going there in the fourth.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they
yeah.
take it 123-112. Pistons. Tobias Harris actually showed up.
Oh yeah,
25. Cade Cunningham, 8 of 21. Yikes. Not great
yeah. He's
shooting
not
for
looking too
Cade.
great.
But he had
No,
12
he had some
assists.
assists, but yeah,
Yeah, 21 points. Beasley did his thing off the bench like he normally does. He hit 6 threes. I thought I still think it's going to be a split here in New York. I don't know why. Something weird tells me that Pistons might steal one. But
yeah.
after this game, with New York coming back, they outscored them 40-21 in the fourth. New York
Yeah.
did. I just
That was
think
just
that puts a lot of pressure on this young Detroit team now. The way that the Knicks came back and won this.
Yeah, and being down in a series, especially against the Knicks as Detroit, is not good because you don't really have much experience. Your whole your whole angle and your whole team identity is physical, physical, physical. You know, we're dogs, but you don't necessarily have those clutch players to back it up.
Yeah. Yep.
And it looked like, again, just eye test, but it looked like both of these teams, but especially Detroit, was more interested in fighting than they were actually playing because it got pretty damn physical in the third and going into the fourth. Like it started out really physical because nobody scored for like the first 10 minutes of the game, but
Yeah, that was pretty brutal, wasn't it?
I was like, good God, can somebody do something? Like miss layup after miss layup. I'm like, you just have a team full of Angel Reese's on both sides of the ball. Like can grab rebounds, kick it out, can't make a shot, grab the rebound again, miss the fucking layup. It's like, can you guys just do something? Like, good Lord.
Yeah.
But
I think Cade Cunningham will be that guy though. He just needs a little bit of time. He needs like a second fiddle on that team. You know,
yeah,
Oscar Thompson, I don't know. He's more of a defender. Tobias Harris, I mean, how old is he now? Is he like in his 30s now?
might be.
Tobias,
We've been here for a minute.
32, so he's probably not going to be. What if, what if you put KD on the Pistons? What would that look like? Do you think KD
I
would go
was
to the Pistons?
I was kind of thinking that earlier. I don't know
They would
because I
probably
don't
want
know.
like Thompson or like Jalen Duren though for him, wouldn't they? They probably would want one of those
Yeah,
guys.
or maybe even Harris because he's a solid player.
Yeah. So I don't know if
But
the Pistons would break up that young core because I don't
and
think
I
they're
don't
there
think
yet. I don't think they're there yet
no.
to go and get one guy.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think they're a KD away from a championship.
But I think that's the type of guy Cunningham kind of needs. He needs like that another superstar that can take a little
Yeah,
load off of him. You know, score here down the stretch. You know, not always take the ball up the court like Cunningham usually does.
yeah, yeah, because he's a good player, but he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders on that team. Like, granted, Tobias Harris is a really good player. He's always been solid,
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Cade Cunningham just has the weight of the world on his shoulders because he doesn't have that dude that's gonna show up in the fourth quarter and constantly hit shots. Obviously, because
yeah,
they barely scored in the fourth quarter,
yeah.
and
You can't always rely on Malik Beasley to hit a three. I mean, he usually does, but they don't even start him.
no, and it's not only that, but like they lost all composure in the fourth quarter. Like they made it a game and they were winning by the majority of the time.
Yeah,
And then not only could they not score, they couldn't defend. They lost all their composure. So it's like, I mean, you guys need to do a lot of work. I mean,
yeah,
you failed on every single possible facet of the game in one quarter alone. In a playoff game, and it's the very first one of the first round, and that's how you're showcasing your team is a complete fourth quarter collapse.
yeah. Do you think it's on Bickerstaff too, or do you think it's just because they're young and they need these type of games in the playoffs to get them better, or do you think it's more of like a coaching issue?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
I think it's both. I don't definitely don't think they should fire Bickerstaff at all because he's, obviously coach of the year candidate. They're in the playoffs and I mean, just
yeah.
looking at how they showed up, they have no business being in the fucking playoffs. Like, let's be real. They have no business being there.
Cade
But they're
Cunningham
here.
went into like a total villain mode for the last month. He's been the numbers
Yeah.
he's putting up to carry that team.
Yep.
I mean, this isn't an 8 or 7 seed. This is a 6 seed. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's they like backed themselves into the playoffs. They're the
No,
legit
they
six
cruised in.
seed. You know, and you were talking about fights earlier. Isaiah Stewart, man, that guy. Does he just
That
look
was
for
fight everyone.
fights? That's all
I
he
think
does,
so.
right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he tried to fight LeBron, I think, was it last year when LeBron accidentally caught him with a elbow in the eye. It
Is
was
that him
hilarious because
running
he wanted to
across the
fight
court?
him. Yeah. It looked like he wanted to fight Braun, but at the same time, it looked like he was crying because like his hero just jacked him in the face. I swear
Yeah.
to God, look at the replay. It looked like he was crying, and it was like, dude. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a good showing for them. They need to. It's and it's not great for New York either because they didn't beat a team that showed up in the fourth quarter. So you
Yeah.
still don't
Yep.
know how far this team can go. So
Yeah.
we didn't really learn anything about New York, but we learned a lot about Detroit, and that is their age is definitely showing, or lack
Hmm.
thereof, I should say.
They have a hard time finishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Over to the West, 4-5 matchup. Was a great game. It was Clippers started off hot. Nuggets kind of came back, got it close at half, and
Yep.
went into overtime. And
Yep.
Russell Westbrook
Yep.
defense.
Yeah.
We might need to like pause that and say that again. His defense
Yep.
helped them win the game. That's crazy.
He was a menace. He was an absolute menace.
You don't say that a lot with Russell Westbrook.
He even hit a three. I think he hit two.
uh, he did. He shot 5 of 17, but he hit two threes. He
That's
had
typical Westbrook.
2 steals, one of them that huge steal, 8 rebounds. He had 15 off the bench.
Yep.
But going forward, Denver played some heavy, heavy minutes in this game too.
Yeah.
Jamal
They
Murray
had to.
48, Jokic 46, Gordon 46, Westbrook 34. They only played 8 guys.
Yep. It's usually what they do.
And look at the Clippers scoring. They have zero bench this game. They have Ben Simmons is on their bench. I totally forgot about that guy. Ben Simmons.
Yeah, me too.
Does he do anything nowadays?
Not really.
I mean, 13
Looks like,
minutes a game. That's what he resorts to now. Is 13 minutes a game.
well, yeah. Yeah, it went downhill real quick after that whole debacle in what was it, game 7, Philly versus
Where he couldn't make a
oh,
shot.
yeah, he just stopped trying to make
Yeah.
shots and then went over to Brooklyn and just hated everybody, hated life, was miserable.
His mind has not been right since, has it?
No, there were so many people that were like, stoked to be on the team with him. 'Cause they were like, "Oh, I remember this guy. He was really, really good." Like everybody was
Yeah.
talking about him as like the next face of the league. And there was multiple people that would like see him in the hallways and like, "What's up, man?" And he would just like
Yeah.
right by him.
He was so like stage frightened over everything that happened. It's
Yeah.
it's like he's
Yeah.
broken. Like he's broken.
Yeah, he was practicing for like an entire year, but he wasn't playing at all. And it was like it was a different thing every single time. It's like, oh, his back's been hurting, his back's been hurting. Oh, now it's his knee, now it's this. It's like I'm pretty sure his ego is bruised and he just doesn't want to be out on the court anymore because
Yeah. Exactly.
they just yeah, he just yeah, like you said, he was just broken after that series,
Yeah. Yeah. Jokic did
which
his
sucks.
thing. Almost triple double and
Yeah, of course.
29, 12, and 9. Shot 50%.
The
Jamal Murray 21 points. Aaron Gordon has not had a very good regular season, but 25-8. Denver will take that every game out of Aaron Gordon.
he shows up in the playoffs, man. They're one of those smart teams, kind of like we were talking about last week, where it's like you can't really count them out because they're a smart team. Like they've been here before, so they're not worried, they're not stressed. You can kind of see by their composure and just how they play the game. They were not stressed at all.
No.
It was, I mean, their interior defense was non-existent, which is weird because they're a pretty decently sized team, but
Yeah.
non-existent. But yeah, Aaron Gordon showed up big. He was definitely a problem. The thing that most impressed me though was the two-man game with Jokic and Westbrook.
Yeah. Definitely.
How they were swapping who was handling the ball and who was coming off the pick and roll, and then Westbrook. There was one play that really really caught me, but They had it. I think Jokic had it on the wing, and he kind of took a couple of steps in, and then Westbrook split the two defenders, and Jokic just popped it like right over his head. And it did not look like there was a single thing Jokic could do because there was like three dudes surrounding him.
Yeah.
There was one right behind him, and then there was two, like maybe 3 or 4 feet behind that, with Westbrook right there, and he just like went right between them. Jokic just kind of did one of these. Just watching those two was really, really fun. And of
Yeah.
course, Westbrook in the fourth quarter, when the game, like 5 seconds left, where he starts freaking out, dribbling like this, and then
Yeah.
bounces it off somebody's foot. It was like, okay, yeah, there he is. There's the Westbrook we know and love.
Yeah. And
He's
that's
like,
the thing with Jokic too. It's like you think you have him guarded, you double team him. He's such a good passer that you don't know what the hell he's gonna do. Is he gonna pull up? Is he gonna, kick it back out? Is he gonna pass it down low? Do one of his, his around the head passes? He's so aware of what's going on around him.
you almost have to have an elite defender, a singular elite defender on him all game, just so you can prevent the double team. Even though that sounds kind of counterintuitive, you
Yeah.
need to double somebody else. You need to double Jamal Murray. You need to double somebody else because he's not. He has eyes in the back of his head. So as soon as
Yeah, he does.
the help defense comes over, he knows exactly where to throw that ball.
Hmm.
Like he knows exactly where that open man is.
Yeah. Yeah, he
And
is
Denver's
just
so
elite
good at
level
playing around
awareness.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's like you're gonna either pick your poison. You're gonna have Westbrook, God forbid, shooting a three, but he might be open because why not? Why would you guard Westbrook on the perimeter? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be open, so even if he shoots 30%, at some point, just a numbers game, he's gonna make it. Probably not in the fourth quarter, but he can kick your ass 1 to 3 quarters easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Jokic is just gonna dump it down to Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot, or kick it out to Jamal Murray, who
Yep.
is different in the playoffs. Like there is regular Jamal. He's kind of like Jimmy Butler. There is regular season Jamal Murray, and there's playoffs Jamal Murray. Dude is a problem in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's I think he's kind of over that injury now. I mean, he might be
He looked good.
he might be nursing something. I mean, end of the year, a lot of guys have aches and pains, but yeah, he didn't look like he was very injured.
No, not at all. He was killing it.
Now for the Clippers, you have you're talking about Zubac last week. He's a good player. Another double double, 21 and 13 for Zubac, and Beardman 32, 11 assists.
Yep.
And Kawhi had 22, Powell had 12, Chris Dunn had 10. They're all in double figures. Like I said, their bench didn't do anything in this game. Only 13 total bench points.
Yep.
And if Kawhi and Harden are playing that many minutes, 43 and 41, that might take a toll on them going forward here.
Yep. Both are aging players. Kawhi Leonard is, even though he's been healthy, it's a lot of minutes for somebody that is injury prone. We'll see how that shakes out.
The Clippers don't
Yeah,
play a backup center. They don't have
No.
They don't have a backup center, so they just go small, pretty much when Zubac's not in there. They have to.
Yep. Yep.
Bogdanovich, Simmons, Derek Jones Jr., Nicholas Batum. That's everyone they played.
Batum he was on it. He was killing it.
I can't believe he's still in the league. I mean, he's still only 36. I thought the guy was got to be at least in his 40s. I remember him with Portland. He had good
Yep.
years over in Portland, and he was like a 12-year veteran there, and he's still bouncing around the league, still making that money. Good for him, I guess.
I'm surprised Bogey isn't doing more, but I feel like his time's gonna come.
Yeah, he only had 12 minutes. I don't know if he's just not involved with the offense, or he plays with maybe his rotation's not very good. Maybe he just plays with other guys that just don't look for him. I don't know. He's a good shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that
he
was
was
a big
with
pickup for them.
He was with Utah before this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still shoots around 40% from three. He didn't have a very good year. He averaged only 10.8, but they got to utilize him a little bit better.
Yep.
And so the only other game going on is my Wolves, huh? What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Kicking the Lakers' ass right now.
Lakers started off pretty good, 28-21 end of the first. I think Luka had 16 in the first quarter. And then it was all Wolves in the second, third, 38-20, outscoring them in the second. And now it's a 104-90 game. I believe that's what I have. 7:16 to go in the game. Still some time left. Like I said, if
Yep.
the Wolves have a big lead, it's not necessarily good for them.
No. Luke's got 37 right now, though. Ooh,
Yeah, I think
my
Edwards is
God.
starting to turn it on now. Edwards is 22. He didn't. He wasn't. It's been Nas Reed pretty much first half that carried him.
Yeah.
Nas is at
LeBron's
20
got
now.
19. Reeves is at 16.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
14-31 from three. The Lakers are.
Oof.
It's just the Wolves are shooting over 50% from the field. That's been the problem. And look at the threes for the Wolves, 20 of 37.
Damn,
Holy shit!
54%.
You're not gonna lose a lot of games hitting 23s.
No. Jaden McDaniels, 100%. Julius Randle, 66. Mike
So
Conley, 66%.
going
Nas Reed.
forward, it's almost inevitable the Wolves aren't gonna shoot this hot from three, right?
No, I mean if they could shoot like that for 7 straight games, you might as well just crown them the NBA 25 champions because no other team can do that.
If they win the NBA championship, you're coming out here and you're going to the parade with me.
Oh
We're
God.
going
All
to the
right.
parade, and you're gonna wear a Timberwolves jersey to
I'll
that
wear
parade.
I'll wear it. I'll wear an Edwards jersey. I don't
There
mind.
we go. There we go. All right, you heard it. Jesse says he's
Uh,
coming up here for the parade.
yes, sir. If they win the championship.
Yeah, Gobert, 24 minutes, 2 points, 6 boards. Not very involved. It's been McDaniels, Edwards, Nas Reed, and Julius Randle pretty much for the Wolves.
Yeah, we kind of predicted that would be the case with Gobert.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be very involved with the offense just because the Lakers will play small. They'll take him out of the lineup. Don't
Yeah.
want to get him blocking shots. You know, as offensively challenged Gobert is, he's still a threat on defense with his size and his awareness and him being able to block shots and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like, I mean, I'm not going to say it now, but it's 106-90, 6:18 to go. It looks like my Wolves might win the first game here in LA.
I think they're going to.
And look at the bench for. Remember we talked about the bench of the Lakers? A big advantage for the Wolves.
Non-existent. Yep.
8 points on 3 of 10
Yeah.
shooting. Ouch. That is ugly for the Lakers bench.
I am wondering why they don't have Dalton Connect playing though, but they have Goodwin playing. I
Did
guess
Dalton did
I guess
Dalton get
because
his spot taken in the rotation?
they don't really use him as much as I thought they would. I mean, I figured with how JJ Redick wanted the offense to run, I'm assuming just because he doesn't want that defensive liability because everyone else kind of is,
Is he pretty bad
that
defensively right now?
he's not really he's kind of like Klay Thompson. He'll play defense. It doesn't mean he's
Oh,
good
okay.
at it.
Okay.
So, he'll do the fundamentals, stick in front of somebody, but he makes a lot of mistakes, gets blown by. I mean, he's a rookie, so it's not like he's seasoned vet out there, but
He
I don't
played in
know, man.
78 games this year. Averaged nine
Yeah.
points.
Like,
Do you see him kind of getting a rotation going forward here? Like
I think
maybe
so,
like
yeah.
a top nine type deal?
Yeah, because he's a very good shooter.
Yeah, which is surprising. I mean, I thought he could maybe he is such a big defensive liability. They just don't want to deal with that. Like he said, they have too many liabilities on defense right now.
Yeah.
But to me, he seems like he's kind of like a. Is he more of a less athletic Austin Reeves? But
Oh, he's extremely athletic. I think he's
oh, okay.
more athletic than
Oh yeah,
Austin
he's
Reeves
like
is. He's just not
dunker,
as
isn't he?
technical. He's a freak of nature kinda. He doesn't really look like he would be, but he's I mean, he has no fear. So that's the one good thing about him. But
Yeah, we can.
I don't know.
Yeah, 109.90, 111.90. Holy shit.
I think part of the reason
441
too
to
is
go.
I think part of the reason that JJ doesn't play him is because he doesn't want to risk having three white dudes out there all at once. That just spells
Could
disaster,
be.
man.
Could
Can't have
be.
that. I'm not even joking either. It's a very common thing in the NBA. So if anybody's watching
Yeah.
saying that was out of pocket, watch any any interview when they talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
They talk about that stuff in the locker room all the time. So relax.
Yeah, Lakers just called a timeout with 4:41 to go. I think maybe Dalton will get it now. I mean, if you're the Lakers,
They're on Bronny.
chop it up, right? Chop it up, call it a loss, rest the
Yep.
starters, get ready for. I think the next game's going to be Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday in LA. You know, just. You got beat, That's why it's a 7-game series.
Yep. That's
It's
fine.
not over after game one.
Nah.
And
But I think the Lakers have been a pretty good road team this year too, so I'm not really worried about it.
I mean, anytime you got LeBron and Luka, anything's possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with that amount of talent, it's surprising though, because with that amount of talent, you would have thought that the game would have been closer. But
It started off like it was going to be the Luka show, like he was just going to put him on
yeah,
shoulders, and I mean he's going to
but
end up
they,
with
I mean,
37, but the Wolves definitely countered that. He didn't score for. He only had 4 points in like a quarter and a half.
yeah, and the Lakers could be playing the long game. I mean, they could have actually tried, for the first 3.5 quarters, and then saw it wasn't going to go very well, and they're like, all right, we'll just kind of scout them the rest of the time. I mean, smart teams do that. It's not out of the ordinary. You don't have to bust your ass for 4 or 5 straight games.
Yeah,
If you can drop one game to get a bunch of information, the next four are going to be that much easier. So,
yeah. It looks like all the starters are still out there. Under 4 minutes to go, down 21. I'm surprised Redick hasn't pulled
well, you gotta get LeBron some more playoff stats. So, I
them.
mean,
I saw that thing about him. He's like they show like 20 categories. He's in top. He's number one in almost all of them except for like 3.
yeah,
Nuts,
yep,
man.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Like he's averaged. I was looking at the other day. I think for his career average in all of like, I don't even know how many. I don't even know how many games he's played. It's been quite a few, but he averages like 27, 8 and 8. Luca averages like 32, 8 and 8.
Oh my god. Isn't Luca?
It's
I thought Luca's like the second highest playoff scorer of all time or something, isn't it? Isn't he?
I want to say he might be.
Or scoring average, I
I,
think, of
scoring
career
average, I think he was first,
in the
if I'm not
playoffs.
mistaken.
Yeah, it
Or it
could
might
be
have been
first.
last year. I think last year he had the best like postseason average of in NBA history. It was like 30, 37 or something like that. I mean, it was something stupid.
And it's crazy because his regular season average isn't that much lower either.
No, he's just that good.
The Did you watching the playing games on Friday at all?
Did was loving the Hawks getting their asses kicked. That was hilarious.
We kind of called it though, didn't we? We kind of
Yeah.
said looking at Trey Young throw the ball at the ref and just kind of quit during that game. Kind of
Yep.
looked like they're just okay. They're done. They're defeated.
Yep. Yeah, we're saying he hasn't gotten any better, and that proved it right there. I mean,
Yep.
you are the star player on your team, multiple time All-Star,
Yeah.
get to the playoffs every single year, and you're still acting like that, dude. Like, you can't say you were sticking up for your guys or anything like that. You got to lead by example,
Yeah. Yep.
and you clearly did not.
Yeah, and it was I ended up going to overtime, but Atlanta had a huge comeback in the fourth to get it into overtime. But overtime was all Miami, all Tyler Hero pretty much. Tyler Hero had a hell of a game. He had 30 points, and
Yep.
he couldn't miss for a while. That guy, he's pulling up from like 35 feet, hitting it, fade away, hitting it. Didn't matter what he did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see why they've been, you know, playoff slash finals contenders for the past 4 or 5 years straight.
Yep.
I mean, they had Jimmy Butler added to that team, who's not bad. They can turn
Mm-hmm.
it on when they need to, and they're doing it again.
Adebayo chipped in nicely at a double double, 17 and 11. Andrew Wiggins from the dead, 20 points for Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, former Wolf.
Yep. Former Warrior.
Yeah, and Davion Mitchell, nice role there on the bench. He's kind of been a little bit of an X factor for the Heat. Kind of one of the reasons why they got into the playoffs. He had a good final stretch there, Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored 15 against the Bulls, 16 against the Hawks, and then a couple other games end of the year he scored double figures. He's another guy that can shoot for that Heat team. They have some shooters. Hero, they got Mitchell can shoot, and
Bam.
Wiggins can hit some threes. But they don't have enough though. They're just, like I said, they don't have the true superstar in that team to really go any farther.
No, they can't match Cleveland's pace either. I mean,
And that's who they get next. You have to get Cleveland next, so it's like get what you pay for, you know.
yeah.
They could be out golfing, could be on vacation right now, but they had to win. You get a date
Yeah.
with Cleveland. There you go.
Yeah, they wanted to beat the shit out of Trey Young. They're like, all right, finally, kicked that, we kicked that little dude's ass, and they're like, ah, shit, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah, the other game in the West, Mavericks season is done. They got beat pretty good by the Grizzlies, 120-106. Another one
Yep.
where, okay, Grizzlies, good for you. Now you go and play OKC, best team in the league. Jaren Jackson led the Grizzlies with 24,
Mhm.
and Morant and Desmond Bain 22 each. Ja didn't shoot very well, but he had 9 assists as well, and the big man Zach Edey,
Yeah.
double double. Doesn't that
He's
guy
dumb.
look? He doesn't look real to you, does he? Like he
Zach
just
Edey?
looks like everything hurts on him.
Kinda. I don't know. He never really makes any expressions either. No
No,
matter what happens,
no,
his
he doesn't.
face just kind of stays the same. It's like, are you having fun? You know you're winning, right? You know you're going to the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
just
exactly.
stone-faced the entire game. It's like, all right, cool, whatever.
And I think Klay Thompson started 6 of 6 in that game.
He was looking like playoff Clay for a little
Yeah,
bit. The
he
good
ended up
one.
with 18.
Not- Yep.
Anthony Davis had 40, but he did get hurt again. He kind of
Of
limped
course he did.
off there, and I don't know if he caught it or not, but when he first got injured and was going to the bench, they showed Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
They just kept showing him. Every time they showed
Yep.
Davis limping, they'd show Harrison. It's like, come on, guys. Really?
Yeah. Wait. We get it. We get it. We get it.
He hasn't gone through enough yet. We have to keep doing this.
Yeah. It's like, why are you surprised? What are you gonna show Nico Harrison? He's gonna be, going like this, like, oh, I wonder what happened to our star. You know what happened to your star player? He played too
Yeah.
long. He tried too hard, and he got injured again. Like, dude, we've seen this shit before.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise.
And,
If your name is Anthony Davis or Kawhi Leonard, none of us are surprised if you get injured at
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
We expect it.
Yeah. So other news out of the East: see Celtics. Jaylen Brown had a couple workouts. I guess his knee is fine. He's been injured pretty much all year with that knee injury. They call it a
Yep.
bruise, but it's a pretty long bruise. But he was able to
Yeah,
go through a
it's
couple workouts. They're gonna need him. Like did he get did he get Finals MVP over Tatum last year?
yeah,
Yeah, so they're
and
definitely gonna need him.
I
Yeah,
think conference MVP as well.
yeah. He
But
Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla says he looks good. He's able to do everything, no limitations. So good news for the Celtics.
yeah, I feel like at some point Jason Tatum's gonna have to really separate himself from Jaylen Brown with this play, because I mean, it's kind of like the 2015 finals where Steph Curry was amazing, but Iggy got the finals MVP over him.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, that sucks. And then Durant gets MVP over Steph Curry.
yeah.
So it's
Iguodala, I
like,
forgot about that. Oh man.
yeah. And Curry finally gets it in 2022, even though
Yeah,
wasn't the best player on the team when they went to the finals in 17 and 18, but he was pretty damn good.
yeah, yep.
But yeah, Tatum's definitely gonna have to separate himself, otherwise it's just never gonna end. He's always gonna be like, cool, we got Jason Tatum, awesome, he's a good player, but he kind of reminds me of like Cooper Flag on Duke,
Yeah, yep.
where it's like, yeah, he's a solid player on a good team. He doesn't really stand out, but he fits really well within the team. You can obviously tell he's a really solid player, but yeah, I don't know. He's gonna have
Yeah,
to do something to kind of, if he really wants the recognition he feels like he deserves. Because
yeah. They, I mean,
The Olympics are only 3 years away, so he's got to start trying now. Otherwise,
yeah, yeah. They got. I mean, if Porzingis plays, they're going to be deadly though. If Porzingis can stay healthy, I think he's kind of an X factor for that Celtics team. You
yeah,
got Tatum, you got Brown, but
Pingus.
what's that?
Did you ever see the Tingus Pingus thing about
No,
Porzingis?
no.
So when he was getting drafted, some fan sent out like a TikTok or whatever. They were like really excited about a different player, and I think it was New York where Porzingis, or no, it was Dallas, I think, that Porzingis got drafted to. Or it might have been New York. I'm pretty sure it was Dallas. But yeah, when they drafted him, this fan sent out this video, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to get this guy and this guy." And they're like, "Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis." He's like, "Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?"
I think that's
It
a
was
better name.
hilarious.
That's a better name, Tingus Pingus.
Tingus. Oh, they asked him about it too in an interview, and he's like, "That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life."
Nice. I
So
like
like,
it.
Kristaps saw it too, and he was good natured about it. He's like, "That was hilarious."
I like
So
it.
yeah, Tingus Pingus.
117-95 final. Wolves Lakers. Timberwolves up
What's
one
it?
nothing.
My God.
Tomorrow we got, like I said, we said Grizzlies Thunder, Celtics Magic. I don't really see much of an upset there.
No.
Cavs Heat, not much of an upset there. What do you think about Warriors Rockets? I mean, everyone's talking about the Warriors and Curry winning his fifth ring.
They're talking about him, and they're talking about how the world is about to be introduced to Amen Thompson, which I'm very curious to see how he does against the Warriors, because I have not heard a single, not even negative thing about him. I haven't heard a single neutral thing about him. He is getting hyped up by analysts, by players, both past and current, about being the top 1% of the 1% of athletes in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a crazy good defender too.
Like they are, I forget who it was, but multiple players, not even not even on the Rockets, but just in general. Like they've just been watching this dude play, and First Take and all those shows keep pulling random dudes, and they're like, talk about this guy, and they're like, he is the elite of the elite.
Yeah. He's
So
averaging career
that'll be
highs in
interesting.
every category, except for, well, every category: shooting, points, steals, blocks, assists,
Yeah.
rebounds. If he
Yeah.
can develop a shot, a 3-point shot, which could come, he's only 22. He
Yep.
could be even more deadly if he can develop a 3-point shot.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Trying
know,
to pull up
he's.
their
I forgot they got Dylan Brooks too, so they got some shutdown defenders on that Houston team. It's not
Yep.
just all jack up threes and score, with Green and all that. They got some good defenders on this team. Of course,
Yeah,
the
last time
Warriors,
they played.
the Warriors are like, oh yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's Warriors. They're gonna do the upset. Well, I mean, they got Fred Van Vliet, they got Jalen Green, Thompson, Brooks, Sengun is a All NBA candidate center.
Steven Adams.
Yeah, Eason had a decent year. Jabari Smith. I mean, uh, they're actually shocking me with how much talent I didn't know they had.
They're stacked. Yeah.
And then you just go up against the old Warrior team.
Yep.
Curry, Butler, Draymond Green, and it's like, how do these guys win? Well, they won with sensational play at the end of the year from Steph Curry, and sensational play from Jimmy Butler once they
Yeah.
traded for him.
Himmy Butler. Himmy Butler.
Himmy Butler.
Yep.
Moses Moody's kind of carved out a role there for the starting small forward spot, and Podzimski's he's hit some big threes for the Warriors. He doesn't do a lot of things, but he's a good shooter.
Yeah. Is
See
it
an
is it just
upset
me
there?
or every
You see
time
the Rockets winning that.
I think the Warriors are gonna take it, but I was just gonna add something quick. It's really hard to talk about Moses Moody and not want to say his name in like kind of a funny voice, like a pouty voice almost. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it might have been either Skip Bayless was joking about it, or it might have been even Nick Wright from First Things First. But when they were talking about him one day, they just kept saying Moses Moody. It just got me every single time. But no, I think the
Where
Warriors
did
are
he
going to take
come
it.
from? Where did Moody
I have
come
no,
from?
I have no idea. I think they drafted him a couple years ago.
I can't handle if the Warriors win this series, because then they're going to talk about Lakers, Warriors,
That'd be
LeBron,
awesome.
Curry,
Yep. One last go round probably.
and that stupid idiot Draymond Green will keep talking like he always does. I can't stand that guy, Draymond Green.
I was cracking up. I don't know if you saw the clip from the last time they played each other, but I think it was the Warriors center
Looney?
Hall or no, it was God, who
Oh,
was it? It was their rookie center. I don't remember his name. Oh, Post.
Quentin
Something
Post.
Post. Yeah, Quentin Post. But he was talking shit to Luca, and so Luca was like trash talking him back, and then Braun got into it. He was like, "Dude, I don't even know why you're even talking to us in the first place. Like, you're a rookie. Just shut the hell up." And then Draymond Green gets right in the middle of them, and like he's like telling Luca and LeBron to like calm down. I think LeBron was like, "Dude, you need to talk to your boy over there." And you could see Draymond turn around and he's like, "Hey, you need to shut your ass up, dude." He's yelling at his own teammate. It's like, dude, if there's two people on this planet that you do not want to piss off in the middle of a game, it's Luca and LeBron.
Yeah,
He's basically saying, he's like, dude, you don't have to fucking guard these two. I do. So, like, you need to
yeah.
not make my job harder and just shut the hell up and play. Like, you're a rookie, dude.
They'll just go postal
So,
on you if you get into them. They'll just go Jordan on you.
yeah. And I thought that was hilarious because, obviously Draymond has had a lot of experience playing against LeBron.
Yeah,
So, for him to turn to his own, I mean, shows the level of respect, obviously,
yeah.
for both LeBron and Luca, but it was hilarious to me that Draymond straight, I think it was Luca taking a free throw, But yeah, you could see Dre come into the middle of them, and then Post walks over here, and he's like, "Hey, hey, you need to stop talking." That was hilarious. So I love the interactions between Draymond and LeBron especially because they
Yeah,
used to be super hostile towards each other, but there was always a level of respect. Whereas now they usually meet in the regular season, so it's like they're just kind of buddies. So like, hey, what's up,
yeah,
man? Yeah, we're here again. Like this is awesome, right? More like
yeah,
reminiscent and appreciative rather than like I need to beat you in order to win a championship. They're like, come on, let's face it, man. Like we're probably not gonna win the championship,
yeah.
but
You want him to go Isaiah Stewart on it and just go and try to punch him, beat him up?
yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think it'd be hilarious. 40-year-old
Well,
LeBron out there throwing punches. It'd be great.
you think he's a pretty good fighter? You think LeBron's a good fighter? What do you think?
I don't know, man.
I kind of
I
wanted to
don't know
see
if
him
there's.
fight Stephen A. because I can't stand him either. That would
Oh,
have been
that
cool
would
to
be
see him
over
throw.
one punch. That would be a one punch fight. Let's be real.
Knock out Stephen A.
Yeah, that was hilarious though. When Stephen A was like, "Yeah, if he twitched, I would swing on him." It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
the only reason you're saying that is because you know that would never ever happen.
yeah,
Like, you think you would walk away from that and not want to sue LeBron James for whooping your ass? Like,
yeah,
you would have a lawsuit against him so quickly. LeBron wouldn't gain anything from whooping your ass because everybody knows he's a professional athlete. You are a reporter.
yeah.
He is a professional athlete. He's in the gym constantly. Look at him. Look at his. He's on Instagram all the time.
I know they just
Dude's a
paid
monster.
Stephen A. They just renewed his contract to ESPN. What do you think if he
Like,
would have actually got in a fight? You think ESPN would have to like get rid of him, or you think they would like say come out and say something and say, "Oh, well, we're just gonna suspend him." Like if he truly got in a fight at a game,
I think they would suspend him
you
for
don't think they'd
sure.
get rid of him, right?
I mean, Shannon Sharp went on Instagram Live for like 12
Yeah.
seconds when he was, in the middle of
We
the
heard what
throes of
happened
love.
there, right?
Oh, that was hysterical. And they were making fun of him about it the next day. So, I mean,
Do you remember how long he got suspended for? Was that or did he get suspended? He got suspended, right?
not for that,
No,
no.
nothing.
Mm-mm,
Way to go, ESPN. That away.
no. Yeah, because I think they thought it was kind of fun. They allowed them to talk about it live on air the very next day. So I
Yeah, I
don't think
remember
they were
that.
really.
I remember
I
that.
think
He
it was one of
went on.
those like we're all adults here, like yeah, we gotta address it because everybody's gonna want us to address it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like there wasn't anything super super explicit.
You didn't see
It
anything. I
wasn't.
mean,
You didn't see anything. You barely heard much. It was like, yeah, it's whatever, man. We all know
yeah.
what's going on. Yeah, let's make light of it because why not?
Shannon's a popular man. He's a ladies' man.
Yeah, like if he was, if Molly was there, then that would have been a different story entirely.
Yeah,
Because they probably would have had to pull both of them from the air. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, if Stephen A. Smith would have gotten in a fight with LeBron, depending on how it started and how it ended, absolutely probably would have been suspended for sure.
I always wonder how that goes with like, reporters and stuff, especially Stephen A. His caliber with ESPN. Being like the top guy and I don't know, probably highest paid. I don't know, but
I would imagine so.
you'd think they'd have to do something if something like that happens. They'd have to do something.
I mean, Shannon tried to fight John Morant's dad a couple years ago at a Lakers game, so who knows? Actually, he tried to fight the entire fucking he tried to fight the entire team.
Carl Anthony Towns, his dad got into it with Morant's dad too when they
Morant's
played
dad's kind of a
Memphis a
punk.
couple years. And they're friends. They're like good friends. And they started like because Edwards and Morant were getting into it. So then the two dads started getting into it at the game. It was great.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like, what are you
at
guys
Target
even
Center.
doing,
It
dude?
was awesome.
Yeah, it's like, what are you guys even doing?
Well, look at Ja. You think his dad's any different?
No, his dad, from what I've seen, his dad's kind of a punk.
Cause yeah, you said, oh yeah, Shannon. You said you got into it with Shannon, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
want
his
to piss off Shannon Sharp. See how big that dude is?
he is huge.
No
He's
wonder
like
why that
6 foot.
woman wanted him, right? No wonder why that woman wanted him.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast. I mean, yeah. Even at like 60 something, he's still just massive.
And he tries wearing those like tight corporate clothes. It looks like he's about to rip out of them.
I don't think he tries. I think that's the best he can do. He's
Yeah,
just that
it's
damn big.
so tight on his like arms and stuff. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, super stretchy, custom made, 100%.
Yeah, he's definitely got to get his clothes custom made.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
Uh
it's got to fit him. It's got to look professional. He can't just be, swimming around in like an extra, extra, extra large suit. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he's got to look good, right? He's got
Yeah.
women he's got to please. He's got to look
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, some other non-playoff news. Former Spurs coach. Well, I guess he's still. No, he took a leave of absence. I guess so. Greg Popovich was taken to the hospital after a medical incident Tuesday night at a restaurant. They didn't really say what happened, but they think it had to do with the stroke that he had back in November. And
Yep.
kind of scary for Pop, the 76-year-old. I guess it was non life threatening, but still kind of scary. Especially for
Yeah.
Popovich, his history and everything.
Yeah, anything that makes a 76-year-old faint at dinner is probably not awesome. So,
Yeah,
we'll see.
he's got 3 more years left. He agreed to a 5-year extension in 2023. I wonder how that'll go now going forward. And he's got 3 more seasons left.
God.
It kind of sucks for San Antonio. You go and get De'Aaron Fox. He gets hurt. Your coach went down before that. Wembanyama gets the crazy injury, the Damian Lillard injury, where it's scary, and it's like now it's like the Spurs are just nothing. You gotta wait till next
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of shit that they. And he hasn't said internally yet if he's gonna come back next year. Be his 30th season next year.
Jeez.
I hope he can. He's obviously he's a great coach and everything, but health first. Hopefully he kind of thinks beyond that and takes care of
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. The Spurs, I mean, I think they could be with a with Pop in the mix, hopefully next year. Uh, Spurs might be a Kevin Durant away from being a major problem.
I mean, if Fox and Wembanyama come back healthy, you know, Devin Castle had a pretty good year for that team. He can fit in there.
Still have Chris
And
Paul, which would be hysterical to have Kevin Durant and Chris Paul on the same team.
yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Because I don't think they like each other.
I don't know. I don't think so either. But looking at their roster, Stephen Castle, they still got Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sokan. He's a decent player as well.
Yep.
If Keldon Johnson can get back to how he was 2 years ago, he's kind of had 2 bad years in a row, but they still got some good young guys to mix in there in that roster.
They could be decent. I think they can make some noise with the right off-season additions.
Yeah, and then you add in
'Cause
Fox and Wembanyama. They could be a dangerous team.
Wemby's fun to watch, man.
He
Like when he
is.
was coming into the league, I was like, all right, how good can this guy be really? Because I just saw a couple of pictures of him, and I'm like, okay, he's 7'3" and like this big around, right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
very small.
not
Yep.
very impressive. The clip, I think it was during like I don't know, some tournament in Paris or something like that, where he shoots a three, bounces off the rim, and he's so damn tall and so long that he gets his own rebound midair and dunks it. after
That's
missing
crazy.
his own 3-point shot. I had to watch that clip like 3 or 4 times. I've never seen something like that ever.
That dude is he's once in a generation talent, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I was
And
like, good God.
the thing I like about him is how great he is with like his community and
Yeah,
like kids and stuff too.
yeah.
He I saw that picture of him playing chess out in New York City in the rain. Not covered by anything, just out in the middle of the open, just sitting there playing chess, getting poured on.
Yep.
And he says, this is for the kids. I'll do anything for the kids. Anyone could have canceled it. Came back, did it another day, but he's really good with the kids. He's really good in his community. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might just be a European thing, man. Where they're just
Could be.
I don't know, they're just a lot more, I guess, thankful to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not entirely true, but you kind of get my point. This
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh,
That's who's another team next year. You think that could make a leap? Could be like a surprise.
there's a part of me that wants to say the Pelicans, but probably not.
The Pelicans just have so many questions. It's like,
Yeah.
what are they gonna do with Zion? Brandon Ingram gonna come back? They now need a new GM. Can CJ McCollum stay healthy? He's been injured 2 years in a row now,
Yep.
and you always have the Zion thing.
I thought Ingram was going to be a lot better than he is.
What happened to him too? I know he got hurt, but like
I don't know.
he was so dominant
Because
for a while, wasn't he?
watching him in the playoffs against the Suns a couple years ago, I'm like, this dude he's an issue. I mean,
Yeah,
he's like 6'8", 6'9", he was shooting from everywhere, was hitting from everywhere. He was a slightly less talented Kevin Durant. Only
yeah,
slightly.
definitely.
I mean, watching him, I was like, there is no stopping this dude at all.
He was like a guy that everyone wanted to get too. Like
Yeah.
New Orleans ended up with him, but how he had a ton of suitors trying to trade for him a couple years ago.
If he would have been put on a team that actually had a successful system, he could have been so much better.
Yeah,
But you put him on a team that revolves around a star player that's injury prone, his health is bad all the time. I think that definitely takes a toll on a player that has that much talent, where Ingram's like, dude, what else do you want me to do? It's like,
yeah,
system's not designed around me, so I can't carry the team even if I wanted to, because I have to give the ball to this jackass over here who
yeah,
we don't even know if he's interested in playing in the NBA at this point. He got a shitload of money. He's got 3 girls pregnant in the past couple months. It's like, I don't think this dude even gives a shit about basketball anymore.
I was just gonna bring that up. He when is he gonna get it? When is he gonna understand? We're doing all this stuff for you. We're paying you all this money. Why can't you just get in your head? Stay in shape. Stay away from
Yeah.
the crazy women. Uh, get your mind right. Get with the team. Because he might not make another big contract the way he's going. He's going to be either
Yeah.
injured and out of the league, or I don't. Might end up like Yao Ming.
Yeah.
With injuries.
Yeah. And it's really unfortunate because coming into the league, watching him for the first, year or two, it's like this dude is going to be the next all-time leader in almost every single category, probably besides assists. I mean, he was that good.
Yeah.
You're watching him and it's like, good. Yeah, like even against LeBron, it was like I don't think LeBron even stands a chance anymore against this guy. I mean, he was just that physically dominant. I mean,
Yeah.
you basically put Westbrook in a 6'10" body. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He's that freaking scary.
He's never going to be eligible for any awards.
No.
Because what do you have to play now? Is it 60 games in the NBA?
55, I think.
55, something like. Well, yeah, he ain't even
Yeah.
gonna get close to that. You know.
No, and it sucks because he became, I think, the fastest player ever to reach 5,000 games, and it wasn't even close. Or
Yeah.
5,000 points, sorry,
Points. Yep.
and it wasn't even close. I mean, he got there like I think 100 something games before LeBron did, and
Yeah.
LeBron was the quickest. It was like,
And the other
yeah,
thing is, he's gotta get some more effort on rebounding. A guy of that
yeah,
size and that athletic, and he gets 6 rebounds a game. Rebounding, my old coach always said, rebounding is about technique and will,
yeah,
wanting to do it.
yeah,
You have to have the right way to rebound. You got your positioning and stuff, but you gotta want to do it. Not a lot of people want to rebound the ball because it's work, right?
yeah,
I just think like he just doesn't want to rebound. He just doesn't want to put the effort towards it.
yeah. I mean, I feel like for somebody as talented as him, I mean, there's no reason why pregame you shouldn't be, because he's not really known as a shooter. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing what Dennis Rodman used to do and just standing under the rim while people are shooting and watching how the ball bounces off the rim according
Yeah,
to
yeah,
who was shooting
exactly.
and how. That actually blew my mind
Yep,
because Dennis Rodman, he was like, I'm not going to shoot the ball at all.
yep.
My job is rebounding, so I'm going to be the best in the world at this.
He
And
knows
I
his
I
role.
remember yeah, I remember seeing that clip that somebody was talking about, and they thought it was really weird because he was just standing under the basket watching like this, just head straight up. Somebody's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Well, when so and so shoots the ball, it has this many rotations, and when he
Yeah,
misses, he's gonna miss right here, and it's gonna go over." It's like, Jesus. All right.
and you think of a name like Dennis Rodman. Well, people are just saying, "Oh, he was an idiot." He dyed his hair. He's always out partying and stuff. No, that guy knew basketball. He knew what he could do, what he couldn't do, how to do it, when to do it. The guy was
Yeah.
a smart basketball player.
You almost, as the opposing team, you almost wanted to catch him like later on in the season after a stretch of games when everybody else was warmed up. That's when you wanted Dennis Rodman. You did not want him, like we were talking about last week, coming off of a week of partying, drinking, doing
Yeah,
coke. That was
yeah,
when he was the most dangerous, was when he came back from that shit. And it was
yeah,
like, oh no. Now he's had time to kind
yeah,
of stretch his legs a little bit, hang out with Carmen Electra and God knows who else. It's like that
yeah.
he's gonna get you 20 rebounds and you're not gonna stand a chance against him.
Well, yeah, and it's like, oh, Dennis is starting to play shitty again. He's got to go out and do some more below to get back
Yeah,
on his good string.
yeah. Anything else that would derail somebody, that's what he used to charge his battery.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. There's certain dudes that can do that. I think Gronk was almost one of those guys, and it was
Hmm.
like, you just let him do what he does. He's gonna show up. He's gonna bust
Yeah.
ass, and he's gonna just be dominant.
Yeah. That was another thing. I always thought it was weird with Gronk. Kind of get on football subject here. How he said he never spent any of his football money the whole time he was in the NFL. It was all
Yep.
anything he spent was on endorsements and other things.
Yeah.
Isn't that's crazy? Just someone that actually like takes care of his money, which is not very prone to the big leagues there. But I think
Yeah.
that's crazy how he never spent a dime of his football money.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Well, probably because he didn't know how long he was gonna play because he was injured all the time too. He was just
Yeah,
tougher than everybody else. So it was like,
yeah.
you know, but
And going back to the Pelicans, I think they got a decent core. I think part of me thinks that they need the right coach to push them. You know, I,
I
I
mean, if they get a Mike Malone, that's
now
if
would
they get
now
a
would
Mike
Mike
Malone,
Malone want to take on that? Do you think, or do you think he'd want more of a ready team so he doesn't really have to do much?
like if you got buy-in from Zion before that and they had like an agreement, if you got Zion, TJ, and Brandon Ingram together and was like, look, this is our potential. This is coming from a championship winning coach, so this is our potential.
Yeah.
This is what I see this team can do. Leave now or forever hold your peace, sort of thing. That that team would be scary. I'm telling you. Like
Yeah.
Zion stays healthy, buys in, and he's locked in. There's not there's not too many people in the league that can deal with him, if any.
Hmm.
Like
Definitely.
he's a once in a generation talent if he would just get his shit together. Nobody can stop him.
Yeah.
He's a
Exactly.
walking he's a walking 40 points every single game.
He is. Yeah, I forgot they have DeJounte Murray too, who tore his Achilles. Kind of 3 months into the season.
That's right.
So another guy
Yeah,
that
so
was
then
injured. I totally forgot about that guy.
yeah.
Part of it is
Next.
injuries for the Pelicans, and part of it is guys that have been injured every year, like Zion,
Yeah.
Ingram. McCollum's been
Yeah.
back to back years, so he played a lot of years in Portland, but and
Yeah.
Trey Murphy was another guy for the Pelicans who got hurt. He
Yep.
was averaging 20 some points a game. He's a good 3 point shooter. He tore his labrum, so they got a lot of guys in the operating room this offseason here for the Pelicans.
Yeah, man. And they always have our boys Alvarado dropping 20 points a game too.
That's
So
right, Alvarado. There he is.
short
And it's
king.
like these guys, like Murphy, torn labrum, Murray, torn Achilles, Zion, rest, out of shape. It's like that's his injuries. Either his feet or a rest day, or he's out of shape,
Yeah.
or the last few games they said his back. He had back issues. They shut him down the last 3 weeks.
Well, because his front's weighing him down. That's what it is.
Yeah,
His front's weighing him down, so his back's starting to hurt.
6'6", 284 is what he's listed at.
But if your legs are that strong and your belly is dragging you down, that is a problem.
Yeah.
He's gotta get it. He's gotta get with it, man.
He's going to be 25 this summer. He, if he gets traded from New Orleans, you can say he pretty much did nothing his first 3 years, 4 years, right?
Yeah.
He's done nothing.
I wonder if I wonder if we could trade Kevin Durant for Zion. If the Suns could get Mike Malone somehow, and we could trade Kevin Durant for Zion straight up,
Would you do it?
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't like Zion as a person. I think he's way too cocky for the lack of what he's done. I think he put up an insane resume when he was healthy, when he was playing. And to me, I think he thought that was good enough.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to show his potential. He's like, all right, show the world what I can do. You want me to sustain that? Nah, fuck that. I don't need to. Everybody knows
Yeah.
I'm good enough. It's like that's not what greatness is. You're good. We give you that. That's never been a question. We want you to be great.
I totally agree with
And
that.
the sad
Yep.
thing is, all you have to do is stay healthy and be you. You don't even have to put any extra effort on the court. It's just off the court.
Yeah. All your resources are there. They got you your own chef. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
eating. You have your own driver. They can drive you to the
Yep.
games. You have your own
Yep.
people that'll get you your clothes. They'll
Yep.
they'll wash your clothes. They'll get you your bed linen. They'll get you whatever you want to do to sleep.
Yep.
They'll massage you. Like all your resources are there. I think for Zion, it stems back to before college because he was supposed to be like another LeBron, right? He was recruited
Yeah.
heavily. Eighth grade, they're talking about this guy. You
Yeah.
know, he gets to college, and I think Zion just had that attitude, just like you're saying. I'm the man here. I have it all. I can do what I want. I'm gonna get drafted. You know, number one overall, anyways. It don't matter. Then he gets to the NBA, out of shape, bad attitude, cocky, and he realized, oh my god, this is a different animal here in the NBA. These guys actually
Yeah.
they're physical. They don't care if you're gonna take games off. They'll put your ass in motion there. They will take it to you.
Yeah. And you're getting everybody's best every single night because you are the hyped up rookie that's supposed to be more dominant than everybody else. First
Yeah,
10 games, kicks the ever living shit out of pretty much everybody that he goes against.
yeah,
You
and
know, maybe for the first year or two, and then ever since then, man, it's like he's missed more games than he started.
yeah, and it's not like obviously I don't like Zion, but he's very talented. He's very athletic. There's nothing we can't say he's not. He's one of the most athletic players in the league. He's just I just think the will factor. He's got to want it more. He's got to
Yeah,
show it.
it's. I mean, he's like I was saying earlier. He is literally the motor of Westbrook in like LeBron James's body.
Yeah,
Like it, he is definitely one of those like if a little guy who was just killing it was looking at a big guy and be like, dude, if I was your size, do you know how much better I would be? That is Zion.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
little man trapped in a giant man's body that can just do everything better than everybody else except for his shooting. But like
yeah,
he's you just gotta stay healthy, man. You gotta take it seriously, and you'd be the best player in the league. And I don't even think it's a question.
yeah,
Like we're looking at Jokic as, he's a godsend, which he obviously is. But you're telling me that a healthy Zion wouldn't be in the MVP discussion? Freaking Embiid can be putting up 40 a
yeah,
game
yeah.
and barely run up and down the court, and Zion meanwhile is doing this
Hmm.
with being damn near Embiid's size, probably
Yeah,
as strong if not stronger than him. Like he is a freak of nature.
and
You just got to stay healthy.
staying healthy would put him up there with Wemby for marketability too. It'd put him probably
Absolutely.
number one because
Yeah.
everybody knows him. The league wants him to be good. The league's standing by him. Just think of all the other opportunities Zion could get. He could fill that ego. Look at me, I'm at the top. I finally, got in shape. I finally want to win. Look at me now. I'm number one.
Yeah. And let me not say anything until I actually do something and win something.
Yeah,
That is another key.
yeah,
Is he's got that kind of Ja Morant complex where it's like, yeah, I'm one of the best in the world, but it's like you haven't won anything, so cool. You have a fan base.
yeah,
You don't have anybody on your back saying you're great. I
yeah,
mean, you're a great player, but you haven't established greatness, and those are two completely different things.
yeah. I got 4 million Instagram followers. Okay, what? That's not going to translate anything on the court.
Yeah. Like, dude, you have as many kids as you do teammates. Let's get our priorities straight. Let's go, dude.
How many crazy girlfriends, ex-girlfriends does he have too? He's got a few
At
of
least
those.
three, at least three I can think of. I don't know. Anthony Edwards is kind of getting that way too, but at least Anthony Edwards is still putting up numbers.
And he pays cash for his child support he owes.
Yeah, and he acknowledges that he's the father. So I mean, he's doing great
He's
as far as
already
I'm
doing
concerned.
2 out of the 3 things that most of them don't, right?
Yeah, he's like, no, that is my kid. I'm paying for it, and that's that. Like, cool. All right.
This is how much you pay a month. No, what is it to settle the whole thing? Oh, okay. Well, here's money for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be in that kid's life, and they're gonna know who I am. Like, that was
Yeah.
actually that was actually pretty cool. You know,
Yeah. Now he's got a
that was
dog.
actually pretty
He's
cool.
got a dog with him. Have you seen his little dog?
Oh.
Ant Junior. He brings him to all the games. He's an awesome looking dog. If I knew how to put it on the screen, I'd do it, but I don't know how to do that. I'll probably mess something up. But you should look him up. His
I'll check it
Ant's
out for
dog.
sure.
It
That's
was
awesome.
he's an awesome looking dog. He's so cool looking,
That's hilarious.
and he's like, it was funny because the mascot Crunch for the Wolves, he was taking care of him in the back while Edwards was like shooting. It was
That's
funny,
cool.
yeah, to see Crunch walking him around on his leash and stuff around the arena.
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
You know how cool that would be though to like have I mean, an NBA player alone, but especially that caliber of a player, like, hey man, I'm trusting you with my dog. Can you watch him for a while I,
Yeah,
go light this up real quick? It's like,
yeah,
dude, yeah, what else do you want me to do? No, that's it. Just watch my dog. All right, yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah, I'll do that, right? And
And the
someone's probably getting some money out of it too. He's probably giving
oh yeah,
someone,
I probably gave him like 10 bands every single time.
yeah,
Like it's nothing. Just here's 10 grand in cash.
for him not to have to worry about it. Why not, right?
Yeah. And obviously he has buy-in from the organization because mascot still has a job to do, but organization's like, Anthony Edwards wants you to do something for us. Like we got to keep him happy. So
Yeah,
yeah, if he wants you to go home during halftime and wash his fucking dishes for him, you're gonna do it.
yeah. We're
You know
not
what I
we're
mean?
not saying no.
Yeah. Do you know how to do drywall repair? He needs that too. Like pretty much
Yeah.
whatever that dude needs, he's gonna get. So that's super cool though.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know, I don't think you watch a lot of the KG Certified podcast, do you, or Garnet?
No, I remember you telling me about it though.
So he's got Paul Pierce on him. He's like his normal guest, and
Yep.
they brought up Wolves Lakers, right?
Mm.
And Paul Pierce was just dogging the Wolves, saying he's saying Lakers in 5, and it's kind of cool to see KG was like they were getting into it. He's calling them out. He's saying, you know, Lakers can't guard any of these guys. And then Pierce was saying, well, who's going to guard Luka? Who's going to guard LeBron? And KG's
Hmm.
like, well, it doesn't matter because Lakers have to play defense too. If you ever have some time, it's their most recent episode of KG Certified.
Uh,
Garnett was getting really mad at Paul Pierce, like
yeah.
really mad, like, oh man, you disrespected, man, you disrespected. And he's like, I'm taking Wolves in 7. Obviously, KG's gonna take the Wolves, and Paul
Yeah.
Pierce is like, "Oh, now you're on the Wolves. Now you're on the Wolves. You're a Laker fan before." It was just funny how they
Ooh,
were just going at each other.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
I
one of my
remember.
favorite podcasts to listen to. I mean, I'm a big KG guy, so being in Minnesota and all that.
Yeah. Oh, his story about Steve Nash actually was hysterical.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was talking about one of the first times that he guarded Steve Nash, and he even showed a video of it too. Like, I love KG because he talks a lot of shit, and
oh
he's
yeah,
pretty intimidating because he's not right in the head, but
no, it's crazy.
he he is very, very humble in the sense that if somebody busts his ass, he is the first one to admit it.
Yeah,
So he was talking about Steve Nash, and he was talking all this crazy shit to Steve Nash, like yelling at him, smacking the floor and everything like that, right in front of Steve Nash. He's like, I saw this dude back up, kind of lick his hands like this, and start dribbling between his legs. He goes, "Oh shit, this
yep,
dude is for real. This dude is not scared of me at all."
yeah,
And it was
yeah.
just so funny.
Tim Duncan said the same thing. He said, I think there's just first year Minnesota got to the playoffs, they're playing us, and Duncan says Timberwolves went on a big run, kind of came back and beat us in one of the games, and he looks back and Garnett's got the ball and he's hitting it over his head, and then he gives the ball to the ref and he starts hitting his head on the hoop where the padding is,
Yeah,
and Duncan goes, "This guy's for real, man."
yeah.
Duncan said, "That's how I knew KG was for real when he started doing that stuff." And he's
Hmm.
like, "Oh my god, I better watch out for this guy." And uh, probably those two, along with Barkley, best 3 power forwards of all time. You might have to put Duncan
Yeah,
1 because he's won more titles, but Duncan
yeah,
also had Ginobili and Parker in their prime.
yeah. And Leonard,
Yeah. So
because that was when Kawhi was like his second or third year in, and he really started becoming Kawhi. And he was like, there was no stopping that team at their peak. Like there was no stopping that team at all.
and Garnett in Minnesota had no one even near that talent that Duncan had till he, obviously went to Boston. And he had Ray Allen and Pierce. They weren't in their primes, but they're still, real effective players. They knew how to win.
Yeah. What really pushed him over the hump was getting Rondo.
Rondo was the key to them winning. Yes, he was just another guy. He knows his role. Doesn't have to score a million points, All he's
No.
got to do is play a defense. He's a good defender, although he was a little undersized, but he's a good defender. Had the ball in his hands, knew the offense, ran the offense smooth, and got it to the open guy.
Smartest player on the court, and anytime anybody talks about basketball IQ, it's LeBron, Jokic, Luka, and then they always bring up Rondo as one of those dudes that nobody ever really talked about, except when it came to, I mean, he was playoff Rondo for a reason.
Yeah,
Again, that's where the smartest teams, you can really tell who's the smartest team. And when you had Rondo on your team, he was a problem
yeah,
because he could break down teams like nobody else could. And when you have all that firepower behind you, like the Celtics did, they basically followed him instead of the
hmm
other way around.
Another guy, if he ever developed an outside shot, he would have been dangerous, very dangerous. He's always wasn't a great free throw shooter. Didn't really have a good outside shot, but just think if he could have had that. I mean, he would have been tops in the league for sure.
If he would have came into the league, I think he was kind of ahead of his time a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily ahead of his time. He fit perfectly in that time period, but he's
Yeah,
one of those players, kind of like Steve Nash, where if they played now, my God, you thought they were putting up numbers back then?
yeah,
Ridiculous. Like, I can't imagine Steve Nash now. If they gave him, if he was on a team like either the Warriors or the Lakers or the Rockets, shit, I mean, one of those
yeah.
fast-paced teams that just swing, 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 ball movement, swing, swing. He was a 50, 40, 90 career shooter, I think.
I was just gonna say, and you can't follow him because he's such a good free throw shooter.
He was a good free throw shooter. He would do that bullshit where he would drive under the rim and kind of loop around. They were talking about this on the Mind the Game podcast the other day, where he was one of the only guys, they called it the Steve Nash dribble, because he would go under the rim and would curl around and then either pass it to a driver or kick it out or just nutmeg somebody to another guy. It was like,
Yeah,
so you can't guard him at the perimeter because he's going to shoot a three over you. You can't guard him internally because he's even better at shooting then, or he can pass it to anywhere. And you can't guard him on the interior because that's where he wants you to be because he's sucking the defense in.
yeah,
He's a
yep,
pain in the ass.
yeah. Oh yeah, I love watching Steve Nash. Just too bad he wasn't on the Wolves
Yeah.
because he was so good. It's
And if
good to see he's getting back into the business of the NBA too. I think he owns part of
yeah,
Unrivaled a little bit.
he
Or
might,
ambassador
yeah,
or something. I
he might.
I wonder why he's not going to coach. You know why he's not coaching yet? Or is he just doesn't want to?
He's
Or
well, he's stacking up his resume doing the podcast. He'll have a coaching job next year after that.
that's right. Okay, yep.
Yep.
Same with Rondo. I always thought he'd be a great coach.
I want to say he's an assistant coach somewhere or like a
Is he?
consultant or something. I think so, yeah.
We'll look him up real quick because he'd be a great coach or some type of like you said, like a role doing something like that.
I think he could be like a Udonis Haslem where you just keep him on a roster spot as like a consultant basically.
Yeah,
Because he kept that dude
Rajon.
around for like 10 extra years.
He pled guilty to a gun charge
Oh yeah, that's
in
right.
Indiana. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I think he got into like some domestic shit a couple years ago too. He's had some issues lately, but
Oh, so he's with the Bucks organization.
okay.
He's like a guest coach during their training camp. He was.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that
he's
makes
like the
sense then.
head coach of their training camp,
Yeah.
and they expected to have that role through the end of the season, but he's not taking up full time coaching yet. But it sounds like it's definitely close to happening.
So speaking of consultants and coaches, there was one person that got brought up on a pod the other day by Chris Broussard. No, it was on First Things First. Chris Broussard was talking about the Clippers X factor that I think could benefit the Suns next year as another possible head coach candidate, Jeff Van Gundy.
You think so? You think he'd want to go to Phoenix?
I think there's potential there, and he's a
Where
basketball
was he? Where
genius.
was he last? He hasn't coached in a while,
He's
has he?
no, but he's with the Clippers right now as like a consultant, and I guess he's been huge in terms of their like team cohesion and development this year.
Well, I mean, look at it. They're a good team too, you know.
He's he's always been a genius.
Yeah, lead assistant for the Clippers.
He doesn't take any bullshit because Jokic was trying to pry the ball out of his hands earlier in the game, and Jeff Van Gundy wasn't having any of that. He was fighting Jokic over the ball, which was hysterical.
That's nice.
You got some 60-year-old dude with his hands around like this, and then
Yeah,
Jokic, big ass monster, is trying to. Dude, Jeff Van Gundy was like, "Nah, you're not getting the ball." I'm like, it's
yeah.
unnecessary, but I like the enthusiasm for sure.
He
Very
was
extremely unnecessary.
he was doing the kind of consulting with the Celtics too after he got laid off from ESPN in 23-24, and then he took that Clipper job as their lead assistant coach. I didn't even know that. I thought he was. I mean, here's how out of NBA I guess I am now. I thought he was still announcing.
No, he was great. Wait, he was with the Celtics 2 years ago?
As like a consultant, senior consultant, after
Okay.
2023 when he got laid off from ESPN.
Okay, so 2023, 2024 season is when he was with the Celtics.
Yeah, and then this year he must have started his lead assistant job with the Clippers.
They won a championship and they're like, "All right, dude, I think we learned enough from you." And then he just goes over to the Clippers and he's like, "You guys want to win a title this year? All
That's
right, cool,
right.
let's do it." Like,
That's right.
Jesus, man. No, he was a genius when it came to analyzing games. He would always, if you didn't know basketball, you would have been annoyed with him because he was always saying what teams were doing wrong all the time. And he was like, "This is what I would change because this is what makes sense with their talent level." And you're like, if you're not a fan, you're like, "Dude, just shut up and let me watch the game." But if you're a fan, you're like, "God, please tell me more."
Yeah, yeah,
Because he was a fan, but he's a genius fan. So it's like he was just quick on like all facets of the game, what was going on in the game, certain things that you didn't think would be big later on. He would
yeah,
always call them out first.
yeah. Phoenix, like we say, they're always a interesting team for what's going to happen there. And what
Yep.
if let's say the Phoenix gets Jeff Van Gundy, would that persuade Kevin Durant to want to stay, or would he still want out? Because I think Jeff Van Gundy would have an absolute headache with Bradley Beal there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think as bad as Phoenix has been the last 2 seasons, I still think we're only like maybe one or two players away and a decent coach that instills a good system that's going to be there for 2 to 3 years at least. We can't
Yeah,
keep firing coaches at the end of every single year and expect shit to work out the next year. There's no
yeah.
continuity.
You guys are paying like 3 or 4 coaches still, aren't you? Paying Monty Williams.
Probably.
Yeah,
It's just it doesn't work that way anymore. You can't have this microwave success that people for some reason think you can have in the NBA.
yeah,
It's not like it's not like the 2019 Raptors anymore, where everything just falls into place and you win a championship.
yeah, yep,
It's it's not like that. The teams that have won championships in the last couple of years, they've been together for a little while.
yeah,
They've had the same coach for at least a couple of years.
yep. Continuity. The continuity is a big
Yeah.
thing. You know.
I mean, we were talking about the Heat earlier, where they've either been in the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals for like 4 or 5 years straight
With the same coach, same
with the
GM,
same coach, same GM,
same owner.
sim
Yeah,
yeah, same similar system.
yep.
They've established a culture. The Denver Nuggets established a culture. That's why they've had continued success without Mike Malone, is because they already had a culture set in place.
And I don't think Eric Spoelstra gets enough credit for what he's done in his coaching career. You know, they always talk
No.
about Mike Malone, Greg Popovich, the Lakers, Redick, whoever's coaching them, and
Yeah.
he's kind of, I mean, won a title there, and he's been a great coach for Miami, Spoelstra.
He inherited a team that had three insanely talented all-stars and had to wrangle them all together to make them perform as a team.
Yep.
Because obviously they were good enough to get to the finals, nowhere good enough to win in the finals.
Yeah.
And then he gets them their second year, and he's like, "All right, Bron." There was plenty of times where he would call out LeBron James, and he's like, "You're kind of being a wuss right now. We need you to knock that shit off.
Yeah.
Like you are way above what you're behaving like right now."
Yeah.
So he takes them to the championship the second or the first year, I think, that he was their coach. They all bought in, and then they won it again the very next year. And they all were
Yeah.
like, yeah, LeBron was like historic in how good he was, but that was still a very good um Boston team that they had to go through both times.
You
Still
think
a very,
you
very
think he
good
gets
Boston
enough
team.
credit for what he's done in his career? He's never talked about.
When they do talk about the best coaches in the league, he is mentioned a
He
lot,
is okay.
along with
Maybe I
Ty Lue.
just
Because
yeah.
Ty Lue, I think, came in like what February of 2016, like midway through the season,
Yeah.
and he was a player coach, like ex-player turned coach,
Yep.
and got everybody on board, and they beat an historically good team.
Yeah, they did. 3 losing seasons in 16 years for Spoelstra, and
That's impressive.
the first one his was this year, or one of them was this year,
Yeah.
and 110-79 career playoff record, a 579 winning percentage in regular season. It's coming up on 800 total wins in his career. 787. That is
Damn.
pretty fantastic. I want to go back to the Suns real quick because I have one more thing I wanted to ask you. I forgot about. Kind of
Okay.
came out I think earlier this week.
Mhm.
The usage of Bol news
Yeah.
coming out that he was playing really well in the rotation of Phoenix, and I think this is just, don't quote me, this is what I heard. There was a fight on the bench between a couple Suns players, and Bol didn't break it up or get in the middle of it, and it was told that Budenholzer was mad about that, and Bol lost his spot over that. That's what I heard, and I've seen it on multiple sources. Did you hear
Hmm.
anything about that? Because after that, Bol lost his spot and didn't play anymore. He was done.
You should have just turned around and punched Grayson Allen in the face. Like, fuck it, right? At that point.
I mean, he was playing well too. Bol was playing well for them.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Don't you think he
It's
could
weird,
be?
but
Could he be an X factor for the Suns or not?
mm, he could be. Because, I mean, from what I remember, he's a solid shooter. He's tall as hell. So he's
Yeah,
causes mismatches and problems. I mean, if he's on and Kevin Durant's on, that's a that's a scary duo.
he'll still be 25 when the season starts too. So a lot left in the tank. I want to see about where he went out. So yeah, he went out and he had games of 12 points, 19, 18, 15. He had a couple 5, 5 and 8, 23, 15, 25. And then that's when they kind of he played 9 minutes, 1 minute, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 2 minutes and 5 minutes. And the reports said right around that time that is what happened on the bench, that Budenholzer was mad he didn't break up a fight and he lost his spot. But I think they
Hmm.
had a lot of issues with Budenholzer, didn't they? A lot of the players kind of.
It's it's they tried to make it seem like Kevin Durant did, but when he was talking about him, it didn't seem that way at all. I
Yeah.
think it was just kind of growing pains a little bit because like when KD was on the Nets and they had Steve Nash, he would take some shots at Steve Nash every once in a while at his, at how he was coaching, not him as a person. He loved him as a person.
Yeah.
Like he showed him nothing but respect when it came to actually talking about him as a basketball player and his IQ. But as far as being a head coach, he was, from what I remember, pretty open about like, dude's only gonna get us so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
But with
Valley of the Sun's Times is where that story was about the Bowl thing. Is the one I read it in.
okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. And then also the thing with Bradley Beal. Apparently, Budenholzer asked Beal to be more like Drew Holiday.
That's hilarious.
It's on the SI. They wrote a story about that a couple days ago, and how
He's like,
Bradley Beal obviously took offense to that, and Drew Holiday's
it's
like, "Oh,
hilarious.
okay, I didn't know anything about that, but yeah, it's kind of cool."
That's hilarious. Bud's probably sitting there going, "Well, I kicked your guys' ass in the finals a couple years ago, so
Yeah, yeah.
if you can just be like the team that did that, then we're gonna win." Beal's
You,
probably like, "Fuck you, dude."
you think Budenholzer just kind of got sick of the antics of the Suns of Beal and them, or he just knew he lost the team? The season wasn't going well. He figured he lost the team, and he just kind of started acting this way, or
I think maybe a little bit of both. I think he probably initially was pretty confident in them with how they started and how they're looking going into the season.
yeah,
And then I think maybe like halfway through, it's like, do you guys even care about getting
yeah,
back to the championship, or are you just you got your money, we're putting on a good show every night. We got KD, so we got, a little bit of cachet, we got the big names on the team. It's like, I mean, you guys got three All-Stars, but only one Hall of Famer. You're not going to compete with any other team because most championship teams now at least have two potential Hall of Famers and probably a Hall of Fame head coach.
yeah, yeah. That's
I
true.
mean, like
Yep,
Eric Spoelstra, Hall of Fame head coach for sure. You look at the Lakers, two Hall of Famers. Look at the
yeah.
Nuggets, two Hall of Famers with Jokic and Westbrook.
And had on pace a Hall of Fame coach at the time. On
Yeah,
pace.
and then you go over to the Celtics, two Hall of Famers, probably,
Yeah.
maybe a Hall of Fame coach. I would assume so later on.
Clippers. You got Doc Rivers. You got Kawhi. You got Harden. Had Paul George. Well, George is on Philly now, but you had him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I can't help me actually speaking of Doc Rivers, I can't help but think that I saw a meme I think last year where they got their asses kicked and somebody posted is like, "Oh yeah, Doc Rivers has these boys in playoff mode just like typical Doc Rivers." They ended up getting their asses kicked and yeah, historically
Yeah.
Doc Rivers not great in the playoffs at all. Or it might have been when he was with Philly, but
That Philly debacle was bad.
hysterical though. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Doc Rivers got these boys playing playoff typical Doc Rivers basketball. It's
Yep.
like, God
That's
damn.
great. That is great.
It's true though. It's
Yeah.
true though.
Yeah. The whole thing with the Suns is, out of all the problems they've had and the firings and everything, and the news of Durant leaving, the one person who's been completely silent in the whole thing, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. Yep.
He has not said a word about any of this stuff. Is that typical
Yeah.
Booker? Like, he's kind of a quiet media guy, isn't he? I
Uh,
mean, he's dating a
man, unless
Kardashian. How
no,
out of the
not anymore.
spotlight? Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh,
No,
breaking
not
news. It's
anymore.
been a while.
Think so, but I mean, unless he's going against Luca and Luca's talking shit about him, he doesn't really say too much from what I've seen.
I just think that's really interesting how he has not said a word about any of the things that happened. You know, they've asked Durant about it. They've talked to Beal about it. They've talked to Holiday about the remarks. They've talked to Bobo about what happened. But nobody's went to the supposed leader of the team, and he hasn't expressed it either. It's just, I'm on vacation mode. We don't need to worry about that. Forget it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
So
guess it's
just
not his deal, I guess, but still, typically you always hear from like the star player of the team.
yeah, who's gonna I mean, we got three dudes that are like the main guys. Somebody has to say something.
Yeah,
I mean, if you guys are handling it internally, well, you need to stop that because it's not working. You need to be vocal. You
yeah,
need to you need to apply pressure to upper management. Say, hey, let it be known this is what we need, or else I'm leaving. I mean,
yeah.
maybe he sees that unprofessional, but it sends a message for sure.
And now
It
they're
it
gonna get a new coach and everything too.
and it
So
makes it makes you look accountable because at this point, a lot of people are what the exact same thing you're wondering. Who is going to take control of that team as a player?
yeah,
It's not going to be Kevin Durant. He's not that guy. He never
and
has been that guy.
and he might be in a different city by next year. Who knows?
Yeah, he might be playing for Houston, winning a freaking championship.
I think he would be a great fit on Houston. He could bring that team together, that young core, and he
Yeah.
could kind of play backstage. This kind of okay, young guys. Let me see what you got. Let's see where we're at.
I mean, Houston, Minnesota. I don't think he would go
The
back to Golden
Bucks,
State, but
the Bucks. He
the,
could go to Milwaukee with Giannis, and if Lillard can stick it out another couple more years, maybe have
yep.
Brooke Lopez come back for another reserve role. Bobby Portis. Now I don't know what they'd have to give up because it'd have to be a trade, but maybe they
Yeah.
get rid of Portis or you know maybe one of the AJ Green or another role player or someone like that and picks or what,
Yeah.
however it looks. But that'd
Yeah.
still be a scary team. What about East? Who else in the East you think Durant could go? Or you think Durant will want to stay in the West? I'm still looking at the Bulls. I don't know why I keep going back to
Yeah.
that team, but I still think that Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Kevin Durant, you have Vucevic if he stays, and I think he'd have a great. He loves Chicago as well, the city, and I think he'd be a great fit for the Bulls.
He'd be a problem if he went to Miami
Yeah, he would.
because it doesn't seem like whoever's on that team, they're getting to the playoffs.
He would make Tyler Hero an even better player, and I think that's what Tyler Hero needs now. He needs a player that can push him to the next level to get him to all-star superstar status. That's what I think Tyler Hero needs.
Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
That'd be a fucking problem. That would be a problem.
and I think they're all USA basketball players too. They all played on
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yep.
You gonna be watching some basketball tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely.
What game intrigues you the most tomorrow? Out of
Probably the
Grizzlies,
Houston.
Thunder, Magic, Celtics, Heat, Cavs, Warriors, Rockets.
I think Warriors Rockets for sure.
Yeah, that's my pick too. I hate that
Memphis
it's
OKC is the
8:30
second
start.
one though.
8:30 fucking start, man. I'm
8:30
old.
in the
I'm gonna be
morning.
in bed at night. I'm
8:30
gonna
at
be in bed.
night?
Yeah. Well, for me. So I think it's
Oh,
6:30
okay.
out by you.
Yeah, 6:30 here.
I'm gonna be
First
in
game
bed
starts
by
at
the
10
time it
a.m.
starts. 10 a.m. Oh yeah, I forgot.
10
Yeah.
Memphis OKC, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what Ja can do against Gilgis Alexander. They probably won't. I don't know if they'll guard each other, but I think the size is gonna kill the Grizzlies too.
I don't think either team's gonna play defense.
No,
I
it's
think
gonna
it's
be
whoever
135, 130.
it, exactly. Whoever has the best shooting percentage, yeah, it's gonna go to them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
Whoever can.
obviously number one for me is Warriors Rockets. I want to see if the old guys can beat the young guys, and I want to see the physicality of Houston and their see what Dylan Brooks does because he's always in store for getting into somebody's grill, right? Always pissing someone off.
Yeah, him and Draymond both.
Can you
One of
imagine
them's
just
getting.
Draymond and Brooks?
Dude, one of them's getting suspended at some point.
Yeah, I was just gonna
One of
say
them.
either there's gonna be a fight out there, or I think Dylan Brooks might get choked by Draymond. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, luckily Brooks doesn't have to deal with somebody like LeBron because last time he was talking shit to LeBron didn't quite work out for him very well.
No, no.
A couple years ago, oh my, that was bad.
Well,
LeBron
he
ended
did
up dropping like 40 on his. Yeah, yeah, he did drop 40 on him because Dylan Brooks the night before was like, yeah, I don't respect anybody that doesn't drop 40 on me. So LeBron dropped 40 on him. I was
he
like,
did the same thing to Anthony Edwards.
ooh.
They both got teed up. I think one of the games at Target Center, and he talking and talking and talking. That's the game when Edwards hit three threes in a row in front of him, and he's just kind of doing the looking at his hand like right in his face, kind of
Yeah.
waving his hand in his
Yep.
face. That was freaking
Yep.
great. I love that. And Brooks is
Yeah.
just kind of silently walks by him, just totally shut him up the whole time.
Yeah. Like, dude, I get your whole role on the team is to be the heel, the agitator, and all that, but you got to remember that you're not the highest scoring dude on the team by any means.
And Houston needs you on the floor with your defense. You can't be stupid and get technicals. They need you. It's like Dennis Rodman. Know your role, hit a couple
Yeah.
threes, and play defense. And
Yeah.
get under someone's skin, but don't get technicals. Don't fight. Don't get ejected.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're on somebody else, don't start talking shit about Butler and Curry because
Yeah.
they can both go off for 40 each
Yep.
in the same game.
Yep.
So you need to watch it a little bit,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
Jimmy. This is the playoffs.
Jimmy time.
Regular
right?
season,
Jimmy time.
regular season, yeah, be a pain in the ass, get on him, talk your shit, whatever. Keep him to 22. In the playoffs, don't do that. Cuz he's going to give you 40.
And Curry will pull it from half court and swish it on you.
Yeah, and he'll do the night bullshit right in your face.
Yep. Good night.
Or he'll do what he did against the Celtics when they were up by like 15 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he just boom with like actually no, it was like 5 minutes left, but still just throws up. That is the most disrespectful.
Well,
Curry
yeah,
is probably the most disrespectful player in the league because he
he
does
does
that shit
it
all the time.
after hitting it from like almost half court, and he does.
Yeah.
It's like he knew it was going in from when he shot it. It's like holy
Yeah.
fuck! It was like a 38-foot shot. You just nailed it, and then you go and just taunt the whole time.
Oh, like he did in the Olympics, where at the podium after they won, he had the night shirt. It said night in French
Yeah.
going across his shirt. I'm like, dude, you're an asshole. Like I love it, but you're an asshole.
How quick did they get that made for him?
Oh, he wore it to the game for sure.
Yeah.
But to do what he did and then show up to the press conference right after that wearing that shirt,
Yeah.
that is
Disrespectful. Definitely.
that is 100% and only he could get away with it because could you imagine if LeBron did that?
Oh.
Everybody in the world would be like, "Oh, this dude thinks he's the greatest ever," and blah blah blah. But it's okay for Steph to do because he is the greatest ever at that one thing. So if he does that
Yeah.
one thing and that's how he wins, it's like talk your shit. But if anybody else
Yeah.
did that, it would be if KD even did that.
Stephen A. would have a whole segment about it.
Oh
A
yeah.
whole show about
Oh,
it, talking about it.
Oh, he could do this for his team, but he can do that in the Olympics or whatever. But
Yeah.
let me see him
Yep.
do that in the playoffs. It's like, well, Steph Curry's been doing it regular season, playoffs, and the Olympics. But
Yep.
so it's okay. I thought it was okay. I thought it was hilarious.
I just think it's funny how he he hits it from like half court and then he doesn't. It's like he already knows it's going in before he even shoots the ball. No doubt about
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, I knew that 38 footer was gonna go right in. I'm gonna do the night thing. It's like what
Yeah,
the fuck, man.
that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
There was 5 minutes left in that game against the Celtics, I think in like the third game.
yeah.
And he even admitted later, he's like, "Oh, I knew we won the series from there." I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, come on. Come on. I mean, he wasn't wrong, but I think just since he's been such a humble guy on his teams, that you almost forget that he is that guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he's gonna talk shit. He's gonna dance on you. He's gonna hit the night. He's gonna do all that.
He's gonna do. He does his little, or he kind of
Yeah.
does the airplane thing.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes does
Yeah.
that. He
He's
does the
so
little
he
shoulder
acts like a
shimmy.
little. Oh yeah. He acts like a little kid out there, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
That's the bummer. Is once he starts dancing on you and doing that, it's over. You're done.
Try to stop him, right? That's what he'll tell you.
Yeah.
Try to stop
Because
me.
he's feeling it. Oh yeah. Try to stop me.
He hit another
He's like, I'll
half
pull.
court three.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit a turnaround. I'm gonna shoot the ball in front of my bench on this side, turn around when the ball's in midair, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna pull up from your bench on the other side of the court and start hitting threes.
Yeah.
It's like,
The
Alright.
crazy thing about Steph Curry also is not a lot of people talk about is the way he moves without the ball. How he goes
Yeah.
through screens. How he's constantly moving. He's never standing still. He'll drop the
Yep.
ball off. He'll run around the screen, run around the hoop, go back the other way, go around another screen. Oh, got the ball wide open.
Yep.
The guy is just crazy. Crazy. I mean, he's got good speed and just endurance to just run around the whole play, all 24 seconds.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
it's crazy.
And he needs like this much space.
Yeah,
So they do that little dribble handoff thing behind screens where it's like he is literally right behind his defense. He could go like this and poke him in the back, and somehow he rises up and hits a three. It's like what can you do? Like the pass from I think Butler in the last game on the I want to say it was in the
screen, right? Corner screen.
yeah, it was in the Draymond screen. Yeah, where he just
Yeah.
got rocked on the baseline when the ball was in the air. He got sent into the stands and he still hits the 3-point shot.
Yep.
It's like I watched it a couple of times because I'm like that's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Somebody can actually do that with such a high success rating too.
And Draymond.
That's a
yeah. I hate Draymond. He doesn't get a lot of credit for his screening ability too. He's probably one of the best screeners I've seen in probably the last 20 years. He is a very good screener.
he's intelligent is
Yeah.
what it is too. Like every screen that he sets there's a purpose to it. He sets a
Yeah.
screen, there's usually two dudes rolling around.
And
'Cause
how
he'll
many
set a
threes
screen.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he'll set a screen right here and everybody else is rotating around here.
Yep.
And then Butler comes up right here. Steph Curry is over here, so he passes to Butler for a split second. Butler looks for the shot. Oh, no shot. Boom, out to Curry for a three. Out to Pajemski for it's like
It's crazy
they're old, but
awareness. Crazy
they're
IQ.
good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many threes do you think Curry's made off of Draymond screens? Like, he's got to give him part of his Hall of Fame trophy when he goes into.
I was gonna say about 4,000 points worth,
Yeah, there's been a lot of them.
or
And-
12,000. Sorry.
Yeah. It's definitely one thing that Draymond is good at is screening. And his IQ is second to none. I think he's probably got best IQ in the league.
He's big, physical, smart, and selfless.
Yep.
Like he'll talk his shit. He is completely 100% selfless. He doesn't care if he scores 3 points, grabs 2 rebounds, has a triple single, as Barkley and Shaq were making fun of him for.
Yep.
He could care less. His impact on the game sometimes isn't seen, but it's felt.
Yeah. Yep. There'd be a lot of
Those are
games
dangerous
where he'd
players.
there'd be a lot of games where he'd have like 2 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, and like 4 steals,
But his efficiency is just way
hmm
up here.
and like 2 or 3 shots. Right?
Yeah,
He,
he doesn't care
nope. Yeah, it's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be
for sure.
Houston's gonna want to play fast, and Golden State. You know, they're not a slow team, but without Steph out there, they're gonna want to play slow, and Houston's
Yeah.
gonna want to boost it up.
Yep.
And we'll see if that Golden State team can keep up with them.
The more intense Houston plays, I think the more intense Butler and Draymond are gonna get.
Yep.
And I
And
think
we'll,
the inexperience of the Rockets, Draymond's gonna be a fucking menace.
yeah,
Like
it's gonna
when Dylan
it's gonna
Brooks
be
isn't
up to
out there to absorb all that like animosity, and
yeah.
those younger guys start getting yelled at by Draymond and they're hitting threes and they're doing their bullshit, that's gonna affect them.
Yep. It's gonna be up to Dylan Brooks to see how far he really wants to take things. Right? Does he want
Yeah.
to go so far to this is gonna fire up Butler and Curry, or do I want to just kind of keep it a little heightened, but kind of get into them, make them know I'm here. This is what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know what Dylan Brooks is gonna do. He's got a mind of his own.
Yeah. Because you definitely don't want to light a fire under the Golden State Warriors team because dude, they'll go on those runs. They still have that flurry about them where if it's not Curry, it's gonna be somebody else.
And they're already picked by a lot of people for upsets. So it's not like they need any more fuel to the fire. They're already kind of like,
No.
oh, we're confident. Yeah, we know we can beat this team. You know, everybody's pulling for us.
Yeah. They have that like they have that kind of Tom Brady Gronkowski thing about them
Yeah,
where it's like for how long we were hearing that Tom Brady's old, he's not going to win another championship. Well, he won 3 more when everybody else was counting him out.
and he's
Basically
up there. Yeah,
comes out of retirement to win another Super Bowl. Like that commercial is like, yeah, let's just come out of retirement real quick, come down to Tampa Bay, we'll win one just like that.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty much what the Warriors fucking did in 2022.
hmm
They were not supposed to win.
No.
And then they got all the way to the finals and it's like, yeah, but the Celtics are pretty good and they're younger. Yeah, they're younger.
Yeah, they're younger, just like Houston, right? Could be.
They're not they're not Curry.
No. And the playoffs, it's more of an advantage for in this series, I think, for Golden State for
Yep.
the playoffs because the experience wise, a lot
They're a
of
smarter
these
team.
a lot of these Rocket players have never played a playoff game. Never been in the they've never been in a situation where they're trying to dethrone Hall of Fame players like Curry, and, Kerr as a coach, and borderline superstars Butler and Draymond Green. They've never taken down a beast like that in the playoffs, and they have to do it in the first round.
They've Yeah, I think it's easier during the regular season when it's like an us against the world mentality
Yeah.
because you have to play good as a team. Any one of them can be the star player on any given night.
Yep.
The Warriors have a system. They have an experienced system with experienced players. Butler hasn't won a championship, but he's no stranger to playoff runs with teams
Yeah.
that have no business being there.
Yep.
Curry and Draymond, again, and Steve Kerr. They've been on teams where they have no business going as far as they have.
Yeah.
2015 was a great example. And
Yep.
2022 was another example. They had no business being where they were. And then all of a sudden, you see them in the finals. That is the last fucking team you want to go against in a 7-game series. That matters.
It's like a fly that won't ever go away, right? That's what they are.
Yeah. And then if you have to beat them in 7 games to knock them out, okay, cool. You beat them the first time. You still have to beat them. You have to put that team away
Yeah.
100%. You cannot give them any room to breathe, especially with Jimmy Butler now.
I always go back to the story of when the Bulls first played the Celtics, kind of ended the Celtic era. They got swept when Jordan was there, but Jordan was by far the best player on the court. And Larry Bird said, "This team's going to be good. Watch out. They're just a little too young." And
Yep.
within 3-4 years, they're winning championships. Larry Bird
As soon as
saw it. They're just a little too young. Wait a
yeah,
couple more years.
yeah, because they didn't know how to win.
Yep.
And once they figured out how to win, it was like, oh, that's all we got to do?
They brought Rodman in. They got Pippen. Phil Jackson was still there, and Larry Bird
Yep.
called it. Larry Bird knew it. He saw Jordan. He's like, "Yeah, this kid's gonna be special. Watch out for this team."
Yeah. Well, that's why the Warriors got Kevin Durant
Yeah,
after 2016. Because Draymond said himself, he was like, we cannot beat this team. They figured us out.
yeah.
Unless we get Kevin Durant, we are not beating the Cavaliers ever again.
Why do you think that Durant always is rumored for trades every few years? Why is that? Like OKC, Golden State, now
Because
Phoenix.
he's not the leader. He's not the leader on any team that he's on.
But he's got these championships, and it's like you think teams would want to pay him and keep him. But is it him that's always wanting out? Because the OKC thing, they should have been. They had James Harden in his prime. Perkins was okay. They had Russell Westbrook. How that team didn't win? And like Golden State, they had some rifts. Is it Durant that wants out, or is it like the organization always want to go in a different direction?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
Because he's always like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna look to trade Durant," or another team's like, "Oh yeah, we think we can get Durant." It seems like this happens every year for him.
Yeah. As as good as he is, all he ever talks about is just wanting to play. He just wants to hoop. I just want to hoop. I just want to hoop. He has no interest in being the leader of a team, being the main voice. He leads by example because
Yeah,
obviously he's inspired an entire generation
that's why a lot of people
of
said it's
players.
Devin
But
Booker's team. That's what they always say.
yeah,
It's like, well, you have a Hall of Fame player in Durant. No, it's Devin Booker's team. He was here first. He's more of a kind of leader for the team, the community, and all that. It's Devin Booker.
yeah,
And I just always thought like, he's ruined a couple super teams.
yeah. It
Is it
is.
him? Is it the players? Is it the coach? I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
is odd because like you would think the Lakers would talk about LeBron like that, where it's like, he's a potential trade asset,
LeBron's the
but
same way too. He, always seems to be, especially at the end of his career, always seeming to be wanting to go a different team, different direction.
I think because he knows I think he's smart enough to know that they've maximized their potential. After his first run in Cleveland, where they
Yeah,
lost against, I think, the Spurs in the finals, and he knew that team had maximized their potential. And then he went to Miami, they maximized their potential there. Then he goes
yeah,
back to Cleveland, they maximize their potential. It's like I think he's aware enough to know when enough is enough.
yeah.
But I think Kevin Durant to some extent does too. But I don't think he's necessarily chasing more championships at this point, which is why I think he's looked at that way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Do you see Durant playing more than LeBron? He's kind of the same. Think they'll go out at the same time?
I think they might.
Yeah,
I don't think Durant's going to be around for too much longer, but I it would be cool to see him in the finals again just because
yeah,
that was I mean, he was going against the best player in the world at that time,
yeah,
hitting threes in his face and shaking his head because it was just so damn easy.
yep.
He was like, "Do I really have to play 5 games just to get a ring?" Like, all right. all right, if I have to, but
Yeah.
dude, everybody knows we're gonna win.
I
Like,
just
just
I just can't picture Kevin Durant retired. It's just a weird thing to me.
I can't picture him, LeBron, and Steph retired
Yeah.
because I don't really care about anybody else that much.
Then you throw in
I'm gonna
like
have to,
guys like James Harden and Paul George and guys like that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, so many dudes are gonna be going out within the next 3, 4 years that the NBA is just gonna
Chris
completely
Paul.
change.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, I I can't believe he's not
DeRozan.
retired already. Yeah,
DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan,
Crazy.
it's gonna suck.
That's gonna be like almost everybody from when I started, like the height of when I watched the NBA. They're all gonna be gone. Like every single
Yeah.
one.
Oh my God, dude, the years that it was the Cavs and the Warriors in the finals, like you knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Some of the best years of basketball I've ever seen. I mean, especially that 2016 finals, the best basketball series, sports series almost. And
Yeah.
I watched the Diamondbacks versus the Yankees. I watched the Red Sox versus the Yankees both times. The Cubs when they won the World Series. I think that was probably the best series out of any sport I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. It's
Because it was
crazy.
like you saw the Warriors go up 3-1 and it was like, okay, cool, they got this.
Yeah.
Cavs win game 5. Cavs win game. That game 7 was the best game I've ever seen, hands
Yeah. That
down.
was a great game. That definitely an instant classic. That game. Holy crap.
Oh my God. I mean, that obviously the block and the shot, but just
Yeah.
how close that game was all
I
the
don't
way
even
through.
I don't even know how he caught up to that ball to block it because he
It was,
was the whole other end of the court when he was like almost going up with the shot.
yeah, yeah, that was insane. It was
Yeah.
one of the most athletic plays I've ever, and there was a couple of them in that series,
Yeah.
like that dribble that Kyrie or the dribble that LeBron kind of had at the like mid court when he intercepted the ball and he was like on his hands and knees trying to keep the dribble alive. Passes it to Kyrie. Kyrie lobs it almost behind the backboard and he reaches behind it and just
Yeah.
it was like my God, man, like
Yep.
the best basketball I've ever seen. So that's gonna suck.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like, oh, it's weird seeing, Kobe retired, Shaq retired,
Yeah.
KG, Duncan. Now it's like it's gonna be weird to see LeBron retire. It's gonna be weird to see, Westbrook, uh,
Yeah.
KD, Steph. Then after that, it's probably gonna be, oh, I can't believe Wemby's retired. It's like, it's way
Yeah.
far away, but
Yeah.
crazy how they just come and go in the league. It's just, yeah, he played his 20 years. He's out now. Look at he's coaching now, or he's the GM.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're never gonna I don't think we're ever gonna see two players in the finals 5 straight years or another player in the finals for 10 straight years.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. No,
That
it's
is,
pretty
I mean,
very rare.
that's one of the most insane stats. Like when I think of LeBron James or just greatness in general from any player from any sport to get to the championship a decade in straight.
Yeah,
That is unheard of.
yeah, that's probably one of the records that will never be broke. I mean,
No.
yeah, that's
And to almost win the
crazy.
MVP in a year that you lost the finals in 2015.
Yeah,
He was he had like a 40-point average for that finals alone.
yeah,
And there was real consideration of like, should this motherfucker be the MVP, like the finals MVP even though they lost? Because
yeah. That was
nobody else did
close.
that.
Yeah, he probably,
But
when you look at it, he probably should have been. When all in all, when you look at it, but you can't have the losing team get it. I understand that, but
no.
he was definitely the best player on the court. by far.
Oh yeah. And I get why Iggy won, and I get
Yeah.
why Curry didn't, because Curry didn't play that well.
Iguodala had all those big shots he hit. Like he was big shot after big shot after big shot.
Yeah. But he wasn't dropping like 30,
No,
35 a game.
no. He would just hit a couple threes in a row and they needed him to go ahead, and every
Yeah.
time he got the shot when it counted, he hit it.
Yeah. And like game 1 or game 2, Kyrie and Kevin Love goes down.
Yeah.
So it was LeBron and fucking Dellavedova. He's like, all right, well,
I
we're gonna have
forgot
to do
about
this.
that guy.
Yeah, poor Delly was in the hospital after like the second or third game because he was just gassed, had to get an IV.
And he got paid by the Bucks after that. And he did nothing with the Bucks.
Oh yeah,
He got a
yep,
big deal with them, I think. A huge deal.
yeah. They saw him as like an Austin Reeves now, where they're like, this dude is gonna be special.
Oh man. Never panned out.
No.
Good college player too.
Yep.
Very good college player.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else? NBA wise or anything basketball? Gophers are adding to their team. They're getting a bunch of transfer portal guys.
Bryce officially Bryce officially committed to Arizona, so we got
I
that.
saw that, yeah. So you don't need to worry
Yep.
anymore, huh?
Nope. No, you got me worried for nothing.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Bryce does. They say he's
It
supposed
was
to
a
be
little
better.
rude bringing that up.
They say he's better than Bronny.
Yeah. No, I did wanna mention that to you though. That was a little rude bringing that up when we're talking about how woeful the Suns were, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, Bronny might not even come there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
There
That was a
were
little mean.
rumors though that he was thinking about decommitting. There were rumors about
Yeah.
that.
I was talking shit about the Wolves, so I'll give you that one. I kind of deserved it. It was a little out of pocket.
Now how's it feel
Just
down 0-1, getting your ass kicked in game one, huh?
oh my God, it's not looking good for us, man. But we'll see how it goes, and we could come back.
The Wolves already did what nobody said they're gonna do, is get a split in LA.
Uh, Lakers in 5, so they needed to win one game.
So do you think the Lakers are gonna win the next four?
Yep.
You and Paul Pierce, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I did actually, speaking about that too, just another little LeBron tidbit because I really appreciated both KD and Paul Pierce admitting this. But when they were talking about like, is LeBron James the GOAT after he became the all-time league scorer? And so KD asked that question and he was like, is LeBron the greatest of all time now that he's sitting on top of the all-time scoring list? And knowing the history between those two individuals and anybody from the Heat, especially LeBron James, for them to both look at each other and kind of laugh and go, "Yeah, yeah, he is." That was a pretty cool moment. I got a lot of respect for both KD and Paul Pierce because I was a Heat fan, did not like those two because I was a Heat fan,
Yeah.
but that was hysterical. Granted, it was like a year or two ago, but that was really cool for them to say because I
Yeah.
know it wasn't easy, but they were almost laughing about it at the possibility that that wasn't the case. It's like for
Yeah.
those two of all people to admit that
Yep.
because
That's
because
crazy.
they were both sitting there after he dropped like 45 on them in game 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals and they're like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah. What? It's
Cuz they're
what?
like we broke him. They even said that like we broke him in game 5.
Yeah.
And for him to come back like that, they were like, "Oh shit, did we make a mistake by making fun of this dude, pissing him off?" Like
Yeah, you
even
did. Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins years later was like, "We were scared of that dude." Like not in a physical sense. He's like, "But I was wishing he would like there'd be news coming out that he like twisted his ankle or something like that." 'Cause I think it was going into game 7. They were like, "We're not
Yeah.
I don't think we're winning this one, guys."
Yeah.
But
LeBron, you don't want to just like Curry and Butler and them. Don't want to get LeBron pissed off because you know what's going to happen. And he's going to do that drive where he's just like a bull running through.
Yeah,
All you got to do
yeah.
is follow him. You can't do anything else. Either he's going to make the shot or you're going to have to follow him.
I want one more Statue of Liberty dunk out of it, like a really solid, like head at the rim. You know,
On the
I
Wolves or a
want one
different
more.
team?
Oh, it'd be awesome on the Wolves for sure. But just to see him get one last good, because that was always one of my favorite things. Him on a fast break, and then him just completely to the side. You know what I mean? Just boom over.
Yeah.
God, it looked awesome.
Can't be on my
But
Wolves. Come on, man.
oh, it's got to be on Ant. You know Ant would want to do it.
Just because we're going to put
Ant
you
would
guys
do
out
it.
in 5 doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I don't know at this point, maybe, but we'll
I'm
see.
changing my thing now. I'm saying Wolves in 4.
Oh, because you won one game, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, dude, we got this. It's a
Yep.
7-game series. Anything could happen.
Easy. Easy
Okay.
win.
Oh, now it's easy. Okay.
4-0.
We'll see.
Wolves.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
No,
see about that.
it's one
They win
game.
game 2. I might have to switch my pick though.
They'll make the adjustments. They got a good enough coach to make the adjustments.
Yep.
Lakers will. I think they'll take. I think it's going to be a close game 2, but I think the Lakers will take it.
They have too much experience, man, and they got a smart ass head coach that got to watch this team last year in the Western Conference Finals
Mm-hmm.
when Luka started carving them up. So he knows how to utilize them.
Yep.
He knows how to play against them. Like that is all. Like Austin Reeves, you can talk about Austin Reeves, you can talk about Luka, LeBron, all you want. The X factor, and I'm telling you this, the X factor for the Lakers this postseason is gonna be JJ Redick.
Yep.
But
We'll see what
we'll
happens
see.
here in game 2 on Tuesday. Should be a fun one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Minnesota takes game 2. I don't know. I might have to switch my pick. We'll see.
They better not. If they win game 2, they better not come back and lose 3 and 4 at home.
Yeah.
That would be. Just think momentum and confidence wise. If they do win game 2 and then lose 3 and 4, oh man. Oh. One game at a time. They got to take care of business on Tuesday, and then we'll see what happens at home.
Because you got one dude who historically is damn near impossible to beat in game 7s.
Yep.
You get LeBron to a game 7, that's not looking good for you guys. He's 40, but he's still him.
And it's gonna be
He's
it's gonna be in
he's still
LA
him.
too.
Oh God, yeah. You guys better win in 6.
Wolves in 4.
Wolves in 4, clean sweep. All right.
No, I don't know. Well, all right. That's probably gonna do it for the podcast this week. We'll probably do another one next week as well.
Yep.
Barring any breaking news or anything that happens, might maybe do a emergency one if something happens, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as Suns hire Mike Malone, we'll have to talk about it.
They're gonna hire the old Mavericks coach, the black dude with the weird voice.
Oh,
Yeah, he's still out there somewhere.
what about Avery Johnson?
Yeah, there you go. Avery Johnson to the Suns. What do you guys
That'd be
think?
hilarious, dude. Send out Ishbia, hire Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's gonna go get Van Gundy and Mike Malone.
If they get Avery
gonna be
Johnson,
awesome.
for sure Durant's gone then.
Oh,
He ain't gonna stay for
absolutely.
Avery Johnson.
Nah, he'd be like, who the hell is this guy? Oh, he
Yeah.
won one championship like a
What,
like
why are
a
you
decade
getting
and a
this
half
guy?
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, well, that's the Sports Heroics podcast. We're done for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for
Yep.
tuning in. And you can always find the replays on YouTube. And head on over there if you're listening. Give us a follow, drop a comment, whatever you want to do. And we'll probably be back next weekend.
Absolutely.
So, appreciate that, Jesse. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Yep. Have a good